The rain has left the area, and we have baseball this afternoon as TCU gets set to take on Tulane in Game 1 of a twin bill here this afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Lupton Stadium. I'm Chuck Lamondola along with Mitchell Traver as we get set for this afternoon's ball games. Mitch, this is a tough assignment for both of these teams because you've got to play two games here today.
Yeah, I think the toughest part of playing a doubleheader is you do not want to tax those pitching staffs, especially in that first game. Got a lot of innings that you have to knock out, and so it's going to be on both of these teams to make sure they fill it up and are able to have those starters go deep.
TCU leads the series 1-0. Let's take a look at what transpired on Friday night.
Yeah, so it was a tighter game than what it ended up being. You can see it was largely dominated by starting pitching. Mason Brassfield, 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks. Really good start for him. For the Green Wave, Trace Ahajic had a great start. Out of those 9 hits, he gave up 1 extra base hit. It just one way or another, TCU found a way to score those runs, and then ultimately in the 7th inning, Lucas Franco with that clutch grand slam really started to break things open for the Frogs, and at that point the game was effectively over.
We expect a great game this afternoon under bright sunny skies. We've got the first pitch coming up right after this timeout. Lance Davis.
Yeah, big time start for Lance. I know TCU is very high on this guy. He had an awesome fall. Really just looking for him to get some momentum going. He's had 3 starts so far this season, and each of them kind of has found a way to start well, but the teams end up getting to him. I think the secret for him tonight is just filling it up, making sure he can use all 4 or 5 of those pitches that he has. Again, a young, talented pitcher that's just trying to get some momentum for the Frogs.
The lineup that he will face for the Green Waves, very much similar to the one we saw here on Friday night, as Kike Harrison, the shortstop, will lead it off. Nolan Naraki had a good night the other night. He was 1 for 2 with a run scored, a couple of stolen bases. It's really the top part of this batting order that makes things go. We talked about it, Mitchell, on Friday night. They're a West Coast offense. In order for them to score, they've got to get guys on base. They don't hit a lot of home runs.
That's it. That's the secret, is get that guy on base early, see if you can move him over, steal some bases, and we know that's exactly what they're going to try to do today.
Kike Harrison will lead it off for the Green Wave, and he swings at the first pitch, lifts it in the air towards left center field, and moving over is Strohschneider to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, as a starting pitcher, you never hate those. 1 pitch, 1 out, especially to begin the game. Good start so far for Lance Davis.
Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Horned Frogs here this afternoon. Colton Griffin in left, Sawyer Strohschneider in center, Chase Brunson's over in right. Bell and Franco on the left side of the infield, Kramer and Liddington on the right. Nolan Traeger behind the plate. Showing bunt, Tanner Chun, the center fielder. He takes a strike. I think the secret for Davis is, like any other pitcher, keep the ball down and throw strikes, foul back.
That's it. I mean, Chuck, you and I were talking about this the other day. I think that we heard that TCU, whenever they're in that bottom quadrant of the zone, is in the top 5 pitching staffs in the nation statistically. And then the opposite is also true when they're at that upper level of the zone. So Lance is for sure going to emphasize getting that ball down.
Good pitch there, but it missed a little bit inside to run the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Dave Lawn mentioned to me after his first couple of starts, I said, what's the deal with Davis? And he said, you got to remember, he hasn't really pitched since high school.
That's a great point. Even when you told me that, I don't think that I realized it. Coming from Arkansas last year, obviously he sits out the whole year with that injury, and at this point, I think the key is just reps, getting him experience, and the expectation is going to be Lance will just keep getting better each start that he goes out there.
Mid-90s fastball, good breaking ball in his repertoire, and their fastball came in 95, just tapped foul.
And I even think about that start that he had against UCLA. I know that was a rough series for the Horned Frogs, but to be honest, those first few innings for Lance, he looked in control. He looked like he belonged out there, and just one of those balloon innings, So he's real close, I think, to breaking through that ceiling.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I thought that start was a lot better than the numbers look. Did have 1 bad inning. Tanner Chun waiting. Pops it foul behind home plate. Traeger will give it a look, but he runs out of room.
Yeah, and if you remember, this is one of those guys, Tanner Chun, who he's got a bunch of walks, I think 14 walks on the season, and he almost has as many strikeouts. And so it's a guy who's trying to get on base one way or the other. Hard to know if he's going to actually chase. I think Lance is going to have to continue to challenge him here and force him to put the ball in play.
He was 0 for 4 on Friday night, including a strikeout. In the air towards the right field line. This is a long run for Brunson, and he can't get to it as it hits off the base of the wall, kicks away from him. Chun is going to try to go to third, and the throw not in time. And it'll be a triple for Tanner Chun. That's the first triple for him, the third triple of the year for the Green Wave, and he did a good job of just staying on that pitch, not trying to do too much, and drove it the other way.
Yeah, he did, and on that replay, it looked like Lance was trying to go in with that fastball, and 95 miles an hour, which is great, but sometimes when that ball just leaks middle, you have a guy who can inside out that baseball just like Tanner did, and so hats off to him on taking advantage on the mistake.
It'll bring up the right fielder, Jason Wax, with an opportunity to give the Green Wave an early lead here. Chop foul. Wax doubled in the first inning of the game on Friday night. Was left stranded, then picked up a single in his final at bat. .327 hitter, does have a home run. Pitch just off the outside corner.
I think that was a changeup. That was a really good one. That's exactly where you want to put it, just on that outer edge. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go back to that at some point in this at-bat.
TCU playing the infield back. They'll give up a run here in exchange for an out. Slider caught the outside corner. Oh, good pitch by Davis.
Really good pitch. Yeah, definitely not one that the hitter is looking to swing at.
Davis could use the strikeout with the runner over at third, and he gets it on the breaking ball. What are they going to say that he got a piece of it? And they're going to say he got just enough of it to keep the at-bat alive.
After a swing like that, he stared at a couple pitches, and there's Coach Sarlos arguing whether that ball hit the ground.
Coach Sarlos asking what the deal was there. He thought it was a strikeout, just like I did. Neither one of us has a say in it, though. All the way, well, that hit him. I was going to say it went all the way back to the backstop, but it caught a piece of him as it went by.
Definitely an unfortunate development for the Frogs. At the same time, again, I feel like one of the secrets of being a starting pitcher is just trying to frame things as best as you can. And with Lance, now you have a force out at second base. There's still one out. Instead of having to strike the guy out and get the next hitter out, if you get a ground ball here, he's out of the inning.
He's trying to go back, it looked like, to the same pitch. Fouled out of play. That he got the swing and just barely foul tip a moment ago, but over-torqued the breaking ball and ended up catching him in the back leg.
That's it. I do think he was trying to do the same exact thing, just trying to bury it and just hooked it a little bit.
Nolan Naraki, the designated hitter today at the plate, takes the strike.
Great response by Lance Davis after hitting a batter to come back immediately with 2 strikes.
Naraki walked twice, picked up a base hit, so he was on base 3 of the 4 times he was up on Friday night. Fouled the fastball back, 94 miles an hour.
And just like Chuck, you made the comment about that West Coast offense that Tulane runs. I know it's 0-2 here, but typically on 0-2 you'll expand, and they do steal bases as a team, and so I do wonder if they're going to try to do a little hit-and-run action here.
Jason Wax 1 for 1 in stolen bases. Tap foul down the third base line. TCU looking for a double play. They've got the infield at double play depth. You get a good look at it there. Franco and Kramer pinching towards second just a little bit. Throw over to first base. Wax able to get back easily. Naraki waiting on the 0-2. Another throw to first.
Keep going, Rock. Keep going. Keep going. Go, Rock. Come, Rock.
Here's the pitch from Davis. Swing and a miss and a big strikeout for Lance Davis.
Big time. There's that stuff. 94-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. Just not a pitch that you're going to be able to get to. And especially, here's that replay, especially after going 0-2. Yeah, that's the perfect expansion pitch. That's exactly where you want to throw it. Well done by Lance Davis.
It's actually up over the top of the letters, up around the shoulder height, but it looks so good coming out of somebody's hand.
Especially when it's up and in. That's one of those keys is you obviously don't want to hit the batter, but when you keep it in, sometimes that ball looks like it's a little bit more appetizing than what it actually is.
Well, 2 outs, runners at first and third. Over at third base with the 1-out triple, Tanner Chun, as he waits for a ride home. Ty Wood at the plate. Takes the first pitch up high, ball 1. Wood, a .231 hitter on the year.
Chuck, this would be a great opportunity for him to go back to that changeup and get a rollover.
Struck out a couple of times in the game on Friday night. He was 0 for 4. Looks at a strike. Now for Davis, his pitch count at 20 now. Well, he really needs to try and get out of this inning without throwing too many more pitches.
Yeah, no question, especially in light of the doubleheader factor today. You really need Lance Davis to at least go, you know, five plus innings.
Here's the 1-1. Couple of hops towards Kramer, and that will do it as he gets it over to first base in plenty of time. Tulane threatens but doesn't score here in the first. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on base through a half inning. With a score, Tulane nothing. Horned Frogs coming to bat. Road Plano, Jack Frankel.
Yeah, Jack Frankel is for sure one of their best starters. 2.25 ERA on the year, 16 innings pitched. He's given up 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's really going to try to attack them with that sinker, Chuck. 87, 91, pretty good slider. Changeup when it's down, has good fade on it. He's for sure going to try to get those Frogs to roll over. You see that last start against Eastern Kentucky, 5 innings, 2 runs, 2 Ks. He's going to fill it up and try to see if he can go deep in this game by just throwing a lot of strikes.
The lineup that he will face for the Horned Frogs looks like this. Cole Kramer will lead things off for TCU. Then it'll be Strohschneider and Brunson. Nolan Traeger behind the plate. Lucas Franco at the big grand slam to break the game open. He was 2 for 4 on Friday night. Then it's Liddington, Bell, and Griffin for TCU here this afternoon. Cole Kramer will start it off for the Horned Frogs. Couple of hits. Also drew a walk on Friday night. Takes the first pitch down low for a ball. And Franco, one of those guys, as you mentioned, Mitch, really going to just try to throw strikes, not necessarily going to be overpowering with his stuff. The fastball right there at 90 miles an hour, and that's about what we'll see from him.
That's it. I mean, you know, he's got 1 complete game on the year against Harvard, and I guarantee you that was exactly how he did it, was just filling it up, throwing strikes, getting guys to swing early, just like that.
Kramer hits it on the ground to short. Harrison's throw over to first in time, and Kramer's retired. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for Tulane. In the outfield, left to right, it's Ty Wood, Tanner Chun, and Jason Wax. Matthias Haas is over at third. Kakia Harrison, the shortstop who just made that play. Nate Johnson at second. Trent Leolius is over at first base, and the catcher today is Hugh Pinckney. Sawyer Strohschneider takes a pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Stroh hitting .341. He was 1 for 5 with an RBI single in the game on Friday. And for Stroh, it's been one of those years where he's had to show the maturity above his sophomore classification because he does not see a lot of pitches in the strike zone.
No, I mean, he's that guy who's got just like the big red sign on his back. Everybody knows who Sawyer Stroh is.
Foul ball just outside of first.
By the skin of his teeth. That was real close.
And to that end, everybody knows when during the scouting report, they say, do not let number 10 beat you.
That's it. You know, what's interesting is obviously you got Chase Brunson right behind him, and I would say if there was anybody who falls in a very similar category, it would be him. So even if you do pitch around Sawyer, the fact is you're still going to have to throw to Brunt. So I'm sure Sawyer thinks about that at times too.
16 walks for Stroh. Throws the head of the bat at it, floats this one to left field. Wood with plenty of time to make the catch, and there are 2 quick outs here to start the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, and so far you see it's going Frankel's way. You know, he throws that changeup, yep, really good fade, and Sawyer extends that bat out there and just being a little bit over-aggressive. They're really going to have to be patient and make Frankel get that ball up and over the plate if they want to get solid contact.
Chase Brunson coming to the plate now for the Horned Frogs with 2 outs and the bases empty. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. Started him off with an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and Chuck just 8 pitches in for Jack Frankel. Already has 2 outs.
1 for 3 for the junior Chase Brunson with the .311 batting average. Brunson with a couple of home runs. Down in the count here, no balls and 2 strikes. Brunson thought about pulling the trigger, laid off, took it for a ball.
3 in a row.
Frankel up the road, so I would imagine TCU's looked at him at some point during his high school career. That's fouled out of play. So I do know that he played against Brassfield in the summers or in the thing. So I wonder what the scouting report looks like. Probably just be patient. You're going to see a lot of off-speed pitches. Like that.
Really good job on Chase's part. That's a great pitch by Jack Frankel, and especially after getting jammed on that last fastball, it'd be easy to adjust and try to make sure you're on time and be perfectly ahead of that slider. Good leave.
Brunson took the pitch up high, went with the fastball, but missed.
I think you're going to see Frankel go right back to that sinker and try to induce a ground ball, get him to swing.
3-2 pitch to Brunson, missed inside, ball 4, and a good at bat for Brunson. If nothing else, Mitchell, to force Frankel to throw a few more pitches here in this inning.
That's it. That's it. And again, you're trying to play the long game here, make that starting pitcher have a nice long first inning. Again, Jack Frankel, 1 pitch away, runner on first base, and for a sinker baller, he's not necessarily worried about what's going on quite yet.
Chase Brunson a threat to steal over at first base. He's 6 out of 9. The Frogs are 33 out of 38 on the year as Nolan Traeger steps in, and right away they throw over to first to Chase Brunson back. I would not be surprised to see Brunson take off early here to try and get himself in scoring position.
Yeah, Tulane's had some issues behind the plate. I know there's 2 outs, but Brunson's a good runner, 6 stolen bases on the year, and try to take advantage to get himself in scoring position with a really good hitter. You know, Nolan's got, I think, about 20 RBIs on the season, and it's a guy that you can count on.
And he's been on fire the last couple of ball games, hit well towards center field, but an easy chance for Chun, who makes the catch for the final out of the inning. For TCU, no runs, no hits. They strand a man. We'll head to the second here in Fort Worth. No score, TCU and Tulane. Look at the TCU dugout, and Kirk Sarlos checking out his chart as we head to the top half of the second inning. For Kirk Sarlos, he's in his 5th season as the head coach. He's been here over a decade. You see the record as the leader of Horned Frogs, 2022 Big 12 Coach of the Year. That's the year the Horned Frogs finished up in Omaha. That pitch is fouled, and Kirk Sarlos, longtime pitching coach here, and somebody you're very familiar with.
No question. Yeah, his first year here as a pitching coach was my first year, actually, as a freshman. So watching him just continue to move through the ranks, and again, he is the definition of a player's coach. All the guys love him, and he's done such an amazing job here at TCU.
Matthias Haas leads things off for the Green Wave. Taken outside. And one thing he's done with this pitching staff is really kind of taught them, it seems like anyway, taught them how to utilize multiple pitches, not just rely on one pitch to try and get through a ball game.
That's exactly right. I mean, Coach Sarlos has played to his strengths. If you remember, he had a nice long big league career, was a guy who self-proclaimed would never break 90 miles an hour, and just knew how to get guys out by truly pitching, changing speeds, and
foul down the third base line.
That's exactly what he's trying to produce in his own players. Is a lot of these guys have different stuff, power stuff. That's even just the way that the game is kind of going. But it doesn't change the fact that you still have to pitch well. You still have to change speeds. You still have to understand where to throw certain pitches in the zone. And Coach Sarlos is elite at that.
2-2 count now on Haas. Yeah, it seems no matter how hard you throw, here's the pitch. On the ground, Bell cuts it off over at third. Strong throw across, and there's one out. No matter how hard you throw, these guys today can hit it.
No question. You see here with Lance Davis, yep, there's that fastball tailing in there. He jams him. Great job by Jack Bell throwing the guy out at first base. A good quick out for Lance Davis. That's exactly what TCU wants right now.
Davis was up over 20 pitches in that first inning, so you would like a little bit quicker inning here in the second, if at all possible. Misses outside with a fastball.
To your earlier point, Chuck, a lot of guys do throw really hard now, but one of the things that I heard as I was kind of sneaking into pro ball for a little while was the best hitters can time a train. And it's no matter how hard you throw, eventually when they see it enough, they're going to find a way to catch up to it. You have to have something else.
Knocked down by Davis as that ball was smoked back up the middle. He's able to get off the mound in time to make the play and retired Trent Leolius.
Hoping that ball didn't get him in the hand. It got him, I think, in the middle of the body. Yeah, I think he knocked it down with his glove, so he should be okay. Doesn't look like Danny Weed's going to need to come out and check on him.
As a pitcher, I'm sure you never like to see the ball come right back up the middle.
You throw the ball, you see that he has hit it in your general direction, and then before you know it, it's on you. It's the old invisible. He did a good job knocking it down, though.
At that point, it just becomes self-defense.
That's it.
Pitch in there for a strike. Catcher Hugh Pinckney at the plate.
If you're Tulane, you really want to try to find a way to extend this inning. You don't want Lance to have a quick bounce back with the 12-pitcher under.
In the air, center field, Strohschneider backing up, has room, turns around and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. A good inning for Davis. 3 up, 3 down for the Green Wave here in the second. Bottom of the second coming up, no score. Coleman, fourth season as the leader of the Green Wave. You see his record right there. He led Tulane to 2 consecutive American Conference championships. First time that was done since 98-99. As he has taken over this program and really kind of turned it around. A veteran of 27 years of coaching, a lot of that on the West Coast.
That's right. Spent a lot of time on the West Coast. He was assistant coach with Nevada. He was an assistant coach at Oregon. Then he came to Tulane in 2020. The one thing that stands out to me is that 2023 team, 19-42, but found a way to win that American Athletic Conference championship. Tulane is on the up and up under Coach Ullman.
See him moving the defense around here as Caius Gargett will lead things off for the Horned Frogs. Gargett, a switch hitter, bat from the left side here with Frankel on the mound. Takes the changeup down and away. .333 for the junior. He's got a homer. Picked up a couple of singles in 3 plate appearances and rips this one down the line. Over to cut it off quickly is Wax. Heading to second base is Gargett, and he's going to be thrown out. Good throw from Wax. Right on the money, and I think he was deked a little bit here by the shortstop, Harrison.
Yeah, really good swing by Caius. He gets that ball elevated and hits it right down the line. Just really unfortunate. You know, TCU's got to be disappointed with him not sliding into second base. What would be a leadoff double is now an out for Jack Frankel and Tulane Greenleaf.
And Harrison, the shortstop, did a nice job. He did not give away that the throw was on the way. He just kept his hands at his side until the ball was right there, which is why Caius went in standing up rather than sliding, because he thought, well, the throw's either cut off or it's not coming.
That's right. That's what's referred to as savvy, Chuck. That was savvy on Kaikia Harrison's part.
Pitch is taken down low for a ball by Lucas Franco, who had the big grand slam for the Horned Frogs on Friday night. Savvy's what I think of when I think of you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well, that was very kind of you to say. I don't know that I've heard that very often, but I'll keep that in my back pocket.
Slow roller to short. Harrison off balance throw, and there are 2 outs.
Great job by Jack Frankel coming right back. There's that changeup with fade again, just like he got Stroh-Snyder. Now he gets Lucas Franco, taking advantage of those left-handers who've got clear power, just forcing them either to create weak contact, whether it's in the air or on the ground.
2 quick outs for Frankel, who's only thrown 20 pitches so far in this game. There's a strike to Rob Liddington.
Rob Liddington's a guy who really does a good job backspinning the baseball. He's got that real level swing. I'll be curious how he handles the sinker baller here. See if we can get that ball up in the air.
Strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Just like that, Jack Frankel filling it up, doing his job, pitching really well so far.
Saw the numbers on Liddington. He's got the homer to go along with a .256 batting average. Lays off the changeup down and in. A ball and 2 strikes. In the air, shallow right center field. Wax coming on. He makes the running catch for the final out of the inning. A good frame for Frankel as he retires the side in order. We're through 2 with a score: TCU 0, Tulane 0. Military Appreciation Day was supposed to be yesterday, but with the rain out, they rescheduled it for today.
Yeah, shifted it on over. I'll be honest, Chuck, when I heard TCU was going to rock the camo hats with the pinstripes, I was somewhat skeptical, but I think obviously it's a great reason, and it's a good look for the Horned Frogs. They got a cool jersey combo going today.
And a nice looking camo hat there. I like the way the purple pops out of the camo on the front.
It does pop. Pop is a good word. It does pop.
Lance Davis back to the mound. 30 pitches for Davis through the first 2, so he's right on schedule. After a 20-plus pitch first inning, only needed 14 or so to get through the last inning, and that ball fouled out of play. You can see the flags there in that shot, barely moving on the flagpole out there. Far cry from Friday and yesterday.
Couldn't be a more different day.
Strike call, good backdoor breaking ball, 0-2 here to Nate Johnson.
Not a lot of at-bats on the year for Johnson, but in 12 ABs, he's got 7 RBIs, so you think this is a power threat.
Strike 3 called, he struck him out, good pitch. Did not give in and throw him a fastball there on an 0-2 pitch.
Great job on Lance Davis's part. It looks like this ball just sneaks right back over the plate. Pretty sure that it was a slider. Yep, that's a wonderful pitch. Certainly not what Nate Johnson was looking for. Tip of the cap to Lance Davis.
You can see a little bit of frustration there on Johnson's face. He was fooled by that pitch. Top of the order, hit back through the middle, knocked down by Davis. Can he get to it in time? He does, and then fires a strike over to Liddington at first base. And another nice play by Lance Davis. We've seen two very athletic plays from him on the mound.
I'm so glad you said that, Chuck. Exactly what was running through my mind was pitchers are athletes too. Lance Davis doing a great job demonstrating that the superior athletes on the field tend to be the starting pitchers.
Let's just say some pitchers are athletes. We'll put Davis in the category. Line drive towards left. It's going to hang up for Griffin, and he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Lance Davis and the Horned Frogs. We played 2.5 from Fort Worth, scoreless. 9-1 for the Horned Frogs here as we start the bottom half of the third inning. Jack Frankel just 24 pitches, so both of these starting pitchers doing their job here on the day where you're going to play a lot of innings.
That's exactly right. It has so far begun exactly how I think these two head coaches would like for it to go. Lots of strikes. Lance Davis, 27 out of 35. Jack Frankel, 15 out of 24 going into this inning. Perfect start.
Jack Bell at the plate. Ahead in the count 2-0 here as he's laid off 2 tough pitches from Frankel. Another off-speed pitch, and Bell's done a nice job here of not offering at a couple of close pitches.
Yep, seeing that baseball up. And again, Jack Bell, we talked about this on Friday. He's a guy that TCU really wants to get going.
Ball 4, and that's a good at-bat for Bell. Sees a lot of pitches and draws a leadoff walk.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the first walk of the ball game, is it not?
It is. We had 1 hit batter and nope, second walk. Frankel walked Brunson back in the first. Bell over at first base. Frankel will face the 9-hole hitter Colton Griffin.
Just Jack Frankel's 5th walk on the season.
He's not a guy who's putting too many people on base. Griffin hitting .250 on the year. Bell chased back with a throw.
As a right-handed sinker baller, when you got that good fade on that changeup, seeing a lot of lefties can actually work in your favor. He just staying on that arm side, letting it sink, letting it run, and you know that's exactly what he's going to try to do here with Griffin. Stay on that lower edge, lower tier. See if he can induce weak contact.
Bell able to get back with a dive. Jack's 2 for 3 in stolen bases. Earlier in the game when Brunson drew the walk in the first, he stayed put. Let's see if Bell elects to go early here. And you can see Frankel paying close attention. When you don't throw hard, you've got to do something to keep the runner close enough that they don't take off, in part because he's slow to the plate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Looks like Colton Griffin's taking his time getting back in the box. Definitely trying to keep Jack Bell close.
In the dirt.
And sometimes when you focus so much on the runner, Chuck, it takes away, obviously, from your focus down at the plate. Guarantee you're going to see Jack Frankel lock back in here and try to get a ground ball.
Third baseman, Matthew Haas, in on the grass. Matthias Haas, rather. Much closer play over at first base. Rest of the infield looking for a double play. And if you're Colton Griffin for the Horned Frogs, you want to do anything but hit a ground ball at one of the middle infielders. Takes a strike up around the letters. That'll run the count to 1 and 2, and I think Griffin thought that pitch might have been a little high.
I think so. Yeah, and that's not one of those pitches that even if it's in the strike zone, you're not going to want to swing at that at this point.
Again, a throw over to check on Bell.
The challenge for Griffin here is going to be Jack Frankel's got the leverage. It's 1 and 2. You got a sinker baller on a left-hander. I know that he's going to throw this thing on the outer half and try to get him to roll over. And Griffin's going to have to do a good job staying on that baseball.
Fouled out of play. It'll stay a ball and 2 strikes on Griffin with nobody out. Bell aboard over at first base. Throw over again. I thought you were going to say the challenge is going to be for equipment man Brad Andrews to get the dirt out of Jack Bell's uniform.
Yeah.
He's wearing it out over there.
Working. Those guys got to work wonders.
Little flare towards shallow left, but it's high enough for left fielder Ty Wood to make the grab. And again, a good pitch by Frankel here.
It looked like a changeup from yep, there it is. So that's 3 times now. 3 times today on those lefties where he's had that really good fading changeup that's either induced a weak fly ball to left field or the ground ball on Lucas Franco's part. Really good job by Jack Frankel. Looking good so far for the Green Wave.
He'll deal with Cole Kramer here. Bell remains over at first base, 1 out now, and again, a throw over.
So far, Jack Bell hasn't had a lead that makes me think that he's trying to steal. They're holding him close, but I haven't seen him get out enough yet.
There he goes. That pitch is hit on the ground, back up the middle and through for a base hit. And Bell is tripped over the second baseman who was diving for that ball. And I think he's going to be called out. I'm not sure he actually touched the second base bag when he fell over the second baseman here.
Yeah, so that hit and run works perfectly. Obviously, it takes the second baseman too far over. He can't get to that ball. I want to say he was standing in front of Jack Bell, and they were wondering if there was potential obstruction there.
Oh, Bell actually catches the bag.
I think he nicked it.
With his foot as he goes over the top of it, and then is able to get up and scamper over to third base.
Thinking they would have given him third base in either case, whether he was able to get there or not.
Pitching coach out to the mound here to have a word. For Jack Bell, that has to be an awful feeling. You're running full speed, and all of a sudden you're upended by a leg that goes up in the air.
Yeah, and if you're TCU, I think at this point you're just giving thanks that Jack didn't roll an ankle trying to scrape over that bag as he's jumping. That's a guy that you do not want to lose if you're TCU.
Anthony Izio out to the mound to have a word, trying to settle Frankel down. And let's go back to, that's just a good piece of hitting by Cole Kramer.
That's right. Yeah, he's such a good leadoff hitter. Just always does his job, stays on baseballs. You know, he's a grad student, very smart, knows exactly what he needs to do in that situation.
Starts and then stops on the first pitch to Strohschneider, who fouls it off. Super Frog in attendance here, cheering his team on from the upper deck.
I wonder how hot it is in that suit, Chuck.
It's hot in the booth. We're in the sun here. Can only imagine. Throw over to first base, and a nice pickup over at first by Leolius.
The challenge here for Frankel is, on the one hand, you still only have to get that ground ball on Strohschneider, but you're facing Sawyer Strohschneider, so you really got to be careful.
On the corner for a strike. Got a good look at Super Frog there in that last shot. He's kind of hanging out.
Having fun with the kiddos, making sure they're enjoying a beautiful day.
Yeah, Kids Day here on Sundays, as always. Strohschneider fouls that one back to the screen.
And that one right there, Chuck, is exactly the one that Sawyer Strohschneider's looking for. As a pitcher, you know when you see a guy foul a baseball straight back behind him, you know that he missed it just by that much. So you're going to see Frankel make an adjustment here and get that ball back down. Be thankful that Sawyer didn't get a hold of that one.
Stroh flew out to left his first time up. Hits this one well towards deep left center field. Chun on the run. He's got room, makes the catch as he bangs into the fence. Deep enough for Bell to tag and score from third base, and the Frogs have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that pitch was just like the one before, but this time Sawyer Strohsnyder got to it. Yep, maybe just a little bit more elevated, but great job by Sawyer taking that ball up and over the other way, driving in that run. Put TCU on the board 1-0.
12th RBI for Strohsnyder. And really just missed hitting that ball out.
I mean, that ball was probably maybe 2 baseballs out of the strike zone, Chuck. I mean, really impressive on Sawyer's part to get a good barrel on it.
Strike called to Chase Brunson. Kramer stayed over at first base on the fly ball to center. 2 outs now and a chance for Brunson to keep the inning alive for the Horned Frogs. Lays off the pitch. Chase had a good at bat his first time up. He fell behind in the count and then drew a walk. You see the numbers for him on the season. You know, you look at the top 4 in this batting order and even go deeper than that, but Kramer, Strohsnyder, Brunson, Traeger, right now, that's a pretty formidable group that you have to get through as a pitcher.
No question. I mean, you either have, on the one hand, with Kramer, you have the experience. Obviously, he's very talented, but then with Strohsnyder and Brunson, you have 2 guys who, major draft prospects, super talented, well-established, and then Nolan Traeger, just as if it couldn't get any worse. An RBI machine.
And the way the lineup is constructed, you've got righty, lefty, and then a switch hitter in Gargett right now hitting in the number 5 spot. So, you know, even if you were thinking about making moves later on, this ball's rolled slowly towards third. Charging hard is Haas. The throw to first, not in time. Brunson, who can fly, is able to beat it out.
What a close play there at first base. You know, on Friday, it was the opposite. All the close plays were out, and then TCU would go and review, and they were safe. On this one, it looks like, yeah, I think Brunson might have just snuck in there, like you said, Chuck. A good runner on his part. Good hustle.
Nolan Traeger will be the batter now with runners at first and second. Will run in for TCU. They lead it 1-0.
First time in the game where they've had a big opportunity, just like on Friday night, to open up the game, and we'll see what TCU chooses to do with this look.
Traeger takes a strike. Good pitch. Started off the plate, came back over the outside corner.
You know, Frankel came into this inning with 24 pitches. Now he's at 43. So far, this is going exactly how TCU wants to go. They've made a good adjustment.
Went with the fastball, missed outside. It's 1-1.
Really good pitch on Frankel's part. If you're Tulane, you want him to stay right there.
Traeger 0 for 1, flew out to Chun in center field his first time to the plate. Foul back. That one will land upon the roof.
You know, Jack Frankel misses on that pitch up and in, but this is one of the cool things about pitching is sometimes when you miss, you can use it to your advantage. Here on the left-handed hitting Nolan Traeger, fastball in that he's laid on, he fouls it back. Frankel's had that changeup going really well today. Would not surprise me if you see him go there and try to get Nolan Traeger sped up and do some weak contact.
See what he dials up here.
There it is.
Missed outside. But you're exactly right. He went with the off-speed pitch.
And that one, you see the difference on it. It still has the good fade, but when it gets a little bit elevated, it's a little flatter, easier to see, not the one that had the fade in the depth as the other ones did.
Again, fouled off. He went back to the fastball and got the late swing from Traeger.
Great pitch on Frankel's part. I mean, I'm not sure that even if Nolan had put that ball in play, it'd be really tough to have that baseball find green where that pitch was located.
Another 2-2 coming to Traeger here with a couple of men on base. Again, he fouls it off. That'll be out of play. And now, all of a sudden, the pitch count closing in on 50 for Frankel.
Yeah, very different outing at this point. It's pretty amazing how quickly the game can change, Chuck. 15 strikes and 24 pitches, and now he's got about as many in just this inning alone. TCU's got a chance to extend it even more.
Pull foul. Well, Traeger really making him work here. The 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Sometimes the job as a hitter is just to try to take pitchers deep until you get a pitch that you really want to hit. You know that that's exactly what Nolan Traeger's trying to do here. I'll be curious to see what Tulane chooses to do with Jack Frankel after that swing that Nolan Traeger threw.
Another 2-2 here to Traeger. Good take. It's in the dirt. He went back to the off-speed pitch, but buried it.
A lot of times, Chuck, the pitch that you throw 2-2 is the one that you're going to throw 3-2. Not necessarily sure why that is, but sometimes that's how that works. My guess is he's going to go back to the changeup.
Runners will be off on the 3-2 pitch. There they go, and it's fouled out of play again by Traeger. Traeger really doing a job of battling here.
10 pitches now in this AB alone.
The runners all back to their respective bases. Kramer back to second. Brunson back to first. They'll be off once again as soon as the ball leaves Frankel's hand. There they go. Here's the pitch fisted towards the left side. Nice play made by the shortstop. They're going to try to score the runner from second, and Kramer slides in head first with the second run of the ball game. It was a great play by Harrison just to keep that ball on the infield, but good job by Kramer of never hesitating around third base.
Yeah, he trusted John Delore. Great job waving him in. And I mean, Nolan Traeger gets that barrel to a really tough pitch, still jams him. Great job keeping that ball within the infield, but Cole Kramer just a little bit too quick finds his way to score that second run of the game for TCU.
Another RBI for Traeger. That's his 19th of the season. So runner still at first and second. Gargett off the end of the bat, slow roller. The throw to first in time, and that will retire the side, but not before TCU picks up 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a couple of men stranded. We go to the 4th, 2-0 TCU. Far for TCU.
Yeah, he's filling up the strike zone. You can see the strikeout on the upper fastball there. He's mixing pitches really well, got the changeup and the slider going, even showing some athleticism there, Chuck. Those starting pitchers, Lance Davis especially, he's showing the whole package right now, and you know that TCU knows what he's capable of. So far, a really good start, and they're hoping that he can continue to put it together.
Just 35 pitches for Davis through 3 innings. He only needed 5 pitches to get out of last inning. And, you know, what's really impressive to me about the 35 pitches is not only is it well ahead of schedule, he threw 21 of them in that first frame.
That is a pretty remarkable adjustment. That's a great point on your part. To me, I think the number that even stands out just as much is 27 strikes out of 35 pitches. Really tough to do that at a quality level, but Lance Davis filling it up so far.
Jason Wax rather, takes the first pitch for a strike. Hit by a pitch his first time up. Slaps this one to left field for a base hit.
I think that's a changeup that just kind of hovers over the plate, doesn't do a whole lot, and Jason Wax does a great job getting the barrel to it, driving it right through that 6-hole. Yeah, sure enough. It's got some decent fade on it, Chuck, but again, the difference between that changeup that stays belt high versus the one that stays in that lower quadrant, it's a much more hittable pitch when it stays elevated.
I think you described it perfectly before when you were saying it's kind of an east-west break when it's up. You don't get any of that north-south. On the ground could be 2. Franco bobbles momentarily, and TCU still able to turn the double play. And you got to credit Cole Kramer out at second base. Franco had a little problem getting the ball out of his glove, but Kramer's still able to turn it.
That's right, and there's a right-on-right changeup, which is a really tough pitch for a young guy to throw. A right-on-right changeup for Lance Davis, gets the ground ball, No panic whatsoever in Kramer's part. It makes a great throw to first base to get those 2 outs.
And again, 2 outs on just 3 pitches here in this inning. Breaking ball missed for ball 1 to Ty Wood.
And if you're Tulane, you're doing anything that you can to try to slow this guy down, make him throw more pitches.
There's a strike, 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
And I love that they're showing in there, just using all of the plate, making sure the hitters have to worry about all however many inches that home plate is. Going to look for him to maybe do the same thing. Yeah, there it is.
Fouled out of play.
Yeah, so if you're Lance Davis at this point, you have so many options. You've established fastball in. You've just thrown a slider in. He's 1 and 2. He can expand away. He can expand up. He can go back in. The hitter has too many options to think about. Going to be really hard to put a good swing on this baseball.
Went with the fastball, got the strike at the top of the strike zone, and that will do it. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on base for the Green Wave here in the 4th. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. TCU on top, 2-0. Picture perfect day here in Fort Worth. Welcome back inside the booth. Chuck Lamondola along with Mitchell Traver. And so far, Mitch, the 3rd inning for the Horned Frogs has been a good inning. Not only did they score a couple of runs, they were able to drive the pitch count up for Franco.
And I think that might be just as important in those 2 runs. Obviously, you got to score runs to win baseball games. But on a day like today where you have to play 16, 18 innings, finding a way to drive that pitch count up is huge. You see Sawyer Stroh-Snyder staying on that elevated fastball out to left center field, finding a way to drive in that first run, and Jack Bell. And then obviously Cole Kramer with the amazing hustle play on that base hit that stays inside the infield and still finds a way to score from second base. That play in particular, that's what Coach Bill Mosiello calls a roughneck. You know that Cole Kramer is going to be really happy about that one after the baseball game.
Might get him a T-shirt out of it, actually.
That's right.
Lucas Franco, the hero of the game for the Horned Frogs on Friday night. Well, TCU was ahead in the game, but it was a close game on Friday night. And Franco, with the bases loaded, able to drive one out for a grand slam. Swing and a miss, and at that point, kind of salted that win for TCU.
That was it, and it's amazing how consistent baseball can be. That's an inning where there were 4 walks in that inning, and TCU finally gets the opportunity to blow it open, and Lucas Franco did a good job doing exactly that.
In the air towards right center field, and a nice running catch made by Tanner Chun. When it left the bat, I thought it might have a chance to split the outfielders, but Chun closed on this thing quickly.
I think that ball gets, he just missed it. Really good job on Tanner Chun's part, covering a lot of ground. You can see the speed. You know, he leads the team with 8 stolen bases on the season, and they're in center field, whether it was running down Sawyer Stroh-Snyder's almost home run or Lucas Franco's almost double there in the gap. Tanner Chun's shown a lot of range so far today.
Pitch taken inside for a ball to Rob Lettington. Lettington 0 for 1, flew out to right field. Takes that pitch a little bit down low. .30 count on Liddington. Takes the strike. Just taken all the way there on the 3-0 pitch.
Yeah. You see that heavy shift on Rob Liddington. You know he's got to look at that gap right there at second base and just think to himself, if I could just put the baseball right there.
They got about 70 feet worth of work, or you could just hit it deep to left field. Back goes Wood. Track. Wall. Gone. Well, why sneak one through the right side when you can leave the yard? His 2nd home run of the year.
Great swing by Rob Liddington on that hanging breaking ball. Does a great job recognizing it immediately and putting a great swing on it.
Liddington getting some congratulations as he heads back into the dugout.
Here's that swing. Yep, that breaking ball just stays at that right there above the belt. That's one of those pitches that pops out of the hand, and Rob Liddington sees it right away and just gets that bat head to it. Great job on Rob Liddington's part.
Jack Bell takes low for a ball. I would imagine as a pitcher, when you feel that come out of your hand that way, you're like, uh-oh, can I get this back?
You want it back immediately. That's exactly right.
This one well hit, but again, in the air long enough for Chun to run underneath and make the catch, 2 outs.
I think that one just gets in on Jack Bell just a little bit. Can't quite get the bat head to it. 2 outs here for Frankel. And honestly, Chuck, this reminds me of Friday just a little bit, where TCU looks like they're in control. You know, they're running their offense. They put some good swings on the baseball, but it's only 3-0. The game is very much still within reach for the Green Wave.
Colton Griffin showed bunt, took the pitch for a ball. Yeah, no doubt. We said that on Friday night. I mean, the game felt like it was all in TCU's favor, but the score at the time was very close until that Franco grand slam.
And that's one of the reminders. Again, as a starting pitcher, you have to think to yourself, okay, this game has not gone the way that I want it to, maybe not like other games so far this season, but it's only 3-0. There's a doubleheader today. If Frankel can just figure out how to get through this inning and give his team 5 or 6 innings, keep it close, you give your team a chance to come back and find a way to come on top of TCU at the back half of this game.
2-1 pitch to Colton Griffin. Check swing. That one just past Cole Kramer, who's in the on-deck circle. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Colton Griffin. You saw what he did in his first at-bat, a fly out. Off the mound, came up perfectly for the shortstop Harrison, and he's able to get it across in plenty of time for the final out inning. But TCU picks up another run. It comes on the 1 hit. It was just the Liddington home run. 3-0 Horned Frogs heading to the 5th. Nothing Horned Frogs as we start the top half of the 5th inning. And Mitchell, we started this game by talking about the need for the starting pitchers to go deep into this game with a doubleheader, and that's exactly what's happened so far.
That's right. You know, you had Lance Davis, who had kind of that big first inning, and then
that one's on the ground, and Jack Bell throws out Matthias Haas for the first out of the inning.
You know, Lance figures out how to do exactly that. It's, you know, he adjusts and he starts getting early contact and filling up the zone, and before you know it, pitch count comes down, and he's in the 5th inning at only 43 pitches. On the other side, Jack Frankel might have started the opposite way. He's got 24 pitches through 3, and then he throws a 30-pitch inning, and before you know it, TCU is on top.
Good pitch. And, you know, this is really the Lance Davis that we have been told that coaching staff saw in the fall, what they saw when he was at Jonesboro High School up in Arkansas. This is what we've been waiting for from Lance Davis, and he's delivering so far in this ball game. Got an opportunity to get through at least 5, and with his pitch count, maybe even 6 or 7.
That's exactly right. It's a big start for a number of reasons, all of which you're kind of alluding to. You know, Lance is a young, super talented pitcher who just at the collegiate level hasn't had one of those 6-7 inning shutout type of games, and he's got a chance to really put together a good one for TCU.
In the air, left side, Griffin calls off Strohschneider and makes the catch out in shallow left center field.
I want to say he throws there's that fastball, elevated, really good velocity. You know, he's been sitting 94. That one was 95. Just really tough for Tulane to get to that baseball, especially when Lance Davis is mixing as well as what he is. They can't cheat on anything in particular. You're just not going to get to that elevated 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hugh Pickney coming to the plate. Pinkney takes down low, ball 1. 0 for 1 for Pinkney. He flew out to Strohschneider in center field his only time to the plate. bounces this one to short. They had him played perfectly. Franco comes up with it on the second bounce and throws to first. Another 1-2-3 inning. We have played 4.5. TCU on top, 3-0. Has been the new guys in the lineup that have contributed.
Yeah, Caius Gargett there with the great swing. There's a transfer from Kentucky. He's done really well for TCU so far. Obviously, Lucas Franco, just an uber-talented freshman, had that great opening weekend at Globe Life. Got on a good baseball again last night to open up the game. Brady Dallimore, the hero earlier this week with the walk-off home run to right field, first of his career against ACU. And then Rob Liddington, the transfer from Incarnate Word, doing a great job staying on that elevated breaking ball today for his second home run of the year.
One of the big reasons TCU was ranked so high to start the year was the combination of guys who are coming back, who are big contributors like Strohschneider and Brunson and Bell and company. And then you also look to these new guys, and so far it seems like those things are coming together during this 6-game winning streak.
And it's so much harder than it looks, Chuck, because on the one hand, great job by the TCU coaching staff to go and get the right guys. They know exactly the kind of lineup, the kind of staff they want. But at the same time, you've got to make sure that whoever you go and get, that they mesh well and that culture can be what TCU leads out with. And it seems like the team is gelling right when they need to with conference play coming up.
70th pitch of the afternoon from Jack Frankel as he faces the top of the order for the third time here. Kramer takes outside to run the count to 1-1. Kramer had a base hit in the third and then eventually came around to score. Grounded to short in his other at-bat. And he's just done a nice job of competing at-bat after at-bat.
That's right, yeah, and you see that batting average slowly creeping up. It's just under that 300 mark now. He's starting to really put together some good at-bats.
Just foul down the third base line. It was not foul by a whole lot.
Been a couple of those today. Missed by about 6 inches to a foot.
Here's the 2-2 to Kramer. Foul the fastball back.
Tulane's got that heavy shift on Cole Kramer, just like they did on Rob Liddington. You know that he sees that gap right there and see if he can't put a baseball there on this next pitch.
Yeah, the big difference is Kramer lives on that side. Foul back. You can see he was trying to shoot it that way. Liddington might be a little bit more of a pull hitter, but for Kramer, he likes going the other way. You better be pitching him inside if you're going to line up your defense like this.
That's exactly right. It's got to be just what they're seeing on the stat sheet, because he is a guy who likes to inside out those baseballs.
This will be the 8th pitch to Kramer here, and again, the pitch count really climbing quickly after a great first inning.
Yeah, no, honestly, after a 30-pitch inning, it feels like probably more than 76 at this point.
Bouncer back towards the middle. The second baseman has to come across, and he is able to make the play. Not hit hard enough to squirt through. Nate Johnson doing a nice job of getting there to get the out.
There's that sinking fastball. It's supposed to be in, but he finds a way to keep that ball down, and Kramer drives it right into the ground. Good job on the shortstop getting over, making the good play to throw Kramer out at first base, first out of the inning.
Sawyer Strohschneider will come to the plate here with 1 out and the base is empty. Swing and a miss. He had a big cut at the off-speed pitch there.
Yeah, really good pitch on Frankel's part. He had a bunch of those early in the game, and especially in the guy like Sawyer Strohschneider, still 3-0, want to continue to throw quality pitches.
Just missed. A ball and a strike on Strohschneider, who had a sac fly in his last plate appearance. Flew out to left on a pitch that was going down and away from. This ball's drilled to right field. See ya. That ball is not coming back. You miss down and in to Strohschneider, and you can kiss it goodbye.
That's it. Sawyer's been waiting for a fastball like that, I think, for a few games. Good job on Sawyer Strohschneider's part to make sure that he gets the barrel to that pitch and drives it right over the right field fence.
That's his 4th home run of the year, and he extends the TCU lead to 4.
Yeah, that fastball just leaks right over the inside part of the plate. Man, the difference between an outside fastball and an inside fastball. Good job on Sawyer's part being ready and recognizing that pitch right away to put a good swing on it.
And it got out in a hurry. Lefties love that ball down and in.
They sure do, and it plays right into Sawyer Stroh-Snyder's bat path. It just the one pitch you for sure didn't want to throw.
Brunson up in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2 home runs for TCU today. Give him 13 on the year. You see what Brunson has done. Single and a walk this afternoon.
You know, in TCU, their lineup is one where on paper, the power is not showing up yet. But if you followed this team, especially what they've done seasons prior, if you've watched them at all in the fall or in January, you know they have a lot more power than what they've shown so far.
4-pitch walk to Brunson. Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time that before TCU starts to hit them in bunches. And I think part of that's just a good job by the pitchers so far of not giving in, throwing too many fastballs to guys like Stroh-Snyder or Brunson.
That's it.
A pitching change coming up here is pitch count up to 84 for Frankel, and that'll be it for Jack Frankel as he'll depart. New pitcher coming on. We'll tell you who it is after we get back from this timeout. D. Rodriguez.
Yeah, leads the team in appearances on the year, Chuck. He's got 14 innings with 20 punch-outs, but 11 walks. And so one of those guys where you wonder with those numbers if he's got power stuff, a 189 batting average against him. For sure, Tulane is hoping he can come in, stop the bleeding, and give them a chance to start chipping away at that 4-0 lead.
He replaces the starter, Jack Frankel, who got off to a really good start, was able to kind of keep the Horned Frogs in check through the first couple of innings before running into trouble in the 3rd and 4th, and then allowing the home run to Stroh-Snyder a minute ago.
Yeah, really good job on TCU's part, just being patient, not swinging at pitches that they knew they weren't going to be able to drive. And at the same time, Frankel just continued to battle and battle until eventually I think he gave up just a few too many free bases, and then you have that one that leaks over against Stroh and the other one that is elevated against Rob Liddington, and before you know it, it's a 4-0 ball game.
You got to look at the numbers on Frankel there a second ago. 4 in the 3rd inning, 6 hits, 4 runs, does lead property on base. No strikeouts today for him. And 3 walks, 84 pitches, and you said at the beginning of the game, he doesn't walk a lot of guys, but 3 walks in the ball game here kind of undid him.
Yeah, and as a sinker baller, I don't think he got to the bottom of the zone as much as what he probably wanted to. He's going to go back and look at that tape and see if he would have just made a couple more quality pitches and let his stuff do what it does, it might have been a different outing for him.
First batter that Rodriguez will face is Nolan Traeger, with a runner at first base and 1 out. Traeger takes the strike.
Good pitch by Rodriguez.
1 for 2 for Traeger. Had an RBI single. That came in his last at-bat in the 3rd inning, a little dribbler to the left side that Harrison was able to stop. Throw over to first, Brunson back. But he could not make the play over at first base. Kramer, who was at second base at the time, just never slowed down and was able to come across the plate. At the time was the 2nd run of the game for TCU. A couple of solo home runs since then.
Really good changeup there from Rodriguez.
Ball with 2 strikes.
Nolan Traeger's going to have to do a really good job here of letting that ball get deep and staying on a baseball.
Brunson back, standing up. Now Chase will steal a base. He's 6 out of 9. Leads the team in stolen bases. If he can get a good jump against Rodriguez, he'll take off. Not going on this pitch, it missed that way.
94-mile-an-hour fastball just sneaking up and away from him. Honestly, after that swing that Nolan Traeger had the pitch before, you show up and away there. I think the option that Rodriguez needs to consider here is throwing that changeup again, see if he can't get him in front of it.
2-2 goes back to
There
it.
it is.
Good job by Traeger just to make contact and keep the at-bat alive.
Yeah, and he's got Nolan Traeger on that proverbial seesaw now, where you got, you know, soft changeup, swings over it, you got the fastball away, then you got another changeup again that he just nicks. If you're Rodriguez, you could go inside with that 94-mile-an-hour fastball here, knowing Traeger's probably not ready for it, or you could stick to that same pitch that he just threw and see if he makes the adjustment. I'd be curious to see what he does here.
Have to wait another minute as he threw over to first base.
Good quick move by Rodriguez. Going to keep him honest.
Brunson trying to time him over at first. Traeger pulls that one. Diving stop made by the first baseman, Leolius, and he's able to get the out at first base, and that's a great play by the Tulane first baseman, Trent Leolius, as he saved a base hit.
Yeah, great effort there. You see he throws the changeup again, and it just leaks a little bit middle, but it's got that good depth. Nolan drives it right into the ground, but the first baseman able to find a way to keep the ball in front of him, and great job on Rodriguez's part, getting to first base in time to be able to make the play before Nolan Traeger gets to first.
And that's really the secret to that play, is the pitcher covering the bag. Without that, he's safe.
Yeah, the instinct has to be as soon as you have a ball on the ground to your left side, you're immediately sprinting to first base. If you hesitate at all, you'll never get there in time.
And Rodriguez was over there waiting like a first baseman. There wasn't even a case of where Leodius had to try and lead him with a throw or anything.
That's exactly right. And when they have to lead you on the throw, that's when you get in trouble and the baseball goes and gets booted around everywhere, and you got a runner on third base before you know it.
Brunson went to second on the play, and that pitch hits Caius Gargett. He'll go down to first base.
Some kind of off-speed pitch that just, he hooks it a little bit, and a free base for Caius. Same time, 2 outs. You got a force now at the third, second, or first, obviously, and no trouble yet. No trouble yet. Yeah, it looks like a changeup that he just gets around on just a little bit.
Runners at first and second, 2 away. Lucas Franco at the plate. Off the end of the bat, this one will stay in the air long enough, and again, Chun using his speed to close on it quickly, makes the catch. TCU adds a run. It comes on the Sawyer Strohschneider home run to right field. 4-0 TCU as we go to the 6th inning here in Fort Worth.
Just not a whole lot going for the Tulane Green Wave so far. That first inning looked somewhat promising. They had Lance Davis a bit on the ropes, but Lance Davis and TCU have done a great job responding. Not a lot of free bases, only 3 strikeouts, but just inducing a ton of weak contact. Tulane finding themselves stuck in the blender a little bit here, Chuck, trying to figure out how to get out and scratch away at that 4-0 lead.
And you can see how good Davis has been. Just 2 runners left on base. They're both left in scoring position, and Davis has done a great job of really limiting the Green Wave here through the first 5 innings. It'll be 9-1-2 for Tulane here against Davis, who's thrown just 49 pitches to this point.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, warning of stating the obvious, but if you're Lance Davis, you want to continue to just fill it up, force weak contact, and go as deep into this game as you can.
Easy chance for Kramer, was on the outfield grass, and then he has to hurry to throw. And he pulls Liddington off the bag, and now it's a case of Kramer playing on the outfield grass. The ball was hit right at him, but he waited for it to get to him.
Yeah, Lance makes his pitch here. Great changeup on that outer edge. Probably not even a strike, and gets the good rollover. Kramer's going to want that ball back. He's a sure-handed second baseman. Just not a common mistake on his part, and now Lance has got to do a good job to pick his teammate up and see if he can't get a ground ball double play here.
Error on Cole Kramer, and you know Kramer's going to want that back, and that was just a case of nonchalanting the baseball a little bit. And then when he finally got it, he realized, uh-oh, I have to throw this ball in a hurry, and then pulled Liddington off the bag to the outfield side.
Well, you see he had that depth. You know, Johnson probably the best power hitter on this Tulane squad, and so Kramer's playing out in shallow right field, and that throw's just a little bit longer than what he's probably used to making.
On the ground, slowly hit. Franco's only got one play. That's the first, and he's able to get the job done. Johnson ends up at second base on the play.
Great job on Lance Davis's part, getting more weak contact, again, mixing pitches really well. Throws that slider that comes on back, and Lucas Franco knows he doesn't have that play at second base, so makes a good play to first, and now you got one down. Really important hitter here for Lance Davis.
And a good job by the freshman Franco. He did not even look at second base. He realized that ball was hit way too slowly to get the lead runner, so just take the out at first, especially when you've got a 4-0 lead. Check swing foul. You know, we're talking about the job that Davis has done, and you know, the fact that this is really his kind of first year where he's getting an opportunity to pitch at this level because he was redshirted last year. But he was the #2 overall prospect and the #1 right-handed pitcher in the entire state of Arkansas as a senior. And I think the most impressive note is he set the Arkansas State high school record with an ERA as a senior of 0.14.
My goodness. Very hard to do that.
Yeah, I mean, for an entire season, that pitch hits the batter in the back. Just got away from him.
Probably the first mistake that I've really seen Lance Davis make today. Just throws a slider that is more of a cement mixer. It backs up on him. Yeah, you'll see that arm drags a little bit, and the slider drifts and hits Chun in the back. Man, you know Lance Davis is wishing he could have a breakfast ball on that one.
Chun will head down to first base, and if you're going to get hit, the perfect spot for Chun, hit him right in the pocket where he stores that sliding glove. So it was an off-speed pitch to begin with, and it hit him right square where he's got a little extra padding going.
I like that he went right back to it after that one, though. When you have a cement mixer that kind of backs up and you go right back to it, I know it was a little bit elevated, but much better shape. He's going to need that pitch if he's going to continue to induce weak contact on the screen wave hitters.
Jason Wax at the plate with runners at first and second, the best chance of the day for Tulane. And a good pitch, a fastball at 94 for a strike to even things up. You see what Wax has done here in this game, 1 for 1. He's got a single. He was also hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Davis misses 2 balls and a strike. So Davis with a little bit of command problems here in this inning after being almost perfect, really, since the first inning.
Making him work just a little bit. Pitching into the 5th for the first time this season.
Pull foul.
Good slider there from Lance. Even up the count at 2-2.
The pitch count just at 60, so at this stage of the season, I'm sure he can go 80, 90 pitches without any problem.
For sure. I mean, on the one hand, he's seasoned to do it. He's ready to do it, but only going 4 innings, sometimes it's the sit down, stand up that can be the hardest part of pitching deeper into games, more so than the pitch count.
Fouled out of play.
There's a good 96-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. No way that Jason Wax is going to get to that one. Lance has got options on this. You don't want to give this at bat away. He wants to make sure he fills up the zone, but I'd be curious if he stays soft away here.
Checks on the runner and now delivers. That ball's ripped towards right field, down into the corner. Brunson was shaded towards center field. He's going to have a hard time getting to this baseball. 2 runs are going to score, and the Green Wave are on the board. It's a double for Jason Wax, his 7th of the year, and he's now got 21 runs batted in. And Tulane's right back in this ballgame.
What a swing on Jason Wax's part. You know, you see Lance Davis go soft, but rather than that breaking ball being more backdoor, it leaks truly middle. Jason Wax sees it up, much like Rob Liddington did, and just smacks it right down the right field line to put a 4-2 ball game up now for Tulane. They're within striking distance.
Dave Lawn is going to come out of the TCU dugout here and have a word with Davis, who had been brilliant through the first 5 innings, runs into some trouble here in the top half of the 6th. You see the breakdown of balls and strikes for Davis so far in this game through 62 pitches.
Yeah, and 46 strikes. I mean, that's pretty amazing, just filling it up. And that was one of those examples where, you know, if you're down on 2-2, you don't want to walk the guy, you don't want to nibble, you've been really aggressive and doing really well. It was a good pitch. It wasn't exactly where he wanted it, but just hats off to Jason Wax doing a great job hitting that elevated breaking ball. We'll see if Lance Davis can't get back down and get back on his horse.
And for TCU, a little bit of a bad break because Brunson was shaded towards right center field. So when that ball went near the line, he had a long run to try and get to the baseball. Swing and a miss. Started him off with an elevated fastball, got the swing and a miss. Nolan Rocky at the plate. He's grounded into a double play and struck out today, 0 for 2. Back-to-back fastballs. That's even at a ball and strike. See what Naraki's done today. Just a 194 batting average for the year. Runner at second. Naraki fouls that one out of play over the roof on the right side.
Last couple sliders that Lance has thrown ever since that one backed up and hit Chun in the back is, you know, they're not as tight as what they were. A little bit more loopy. You can kind of, even from up here, you can see the seam on it. Lance is really going to want to get back on top of that pitch, or else maybe move away from it for a little bit.
Foul back. Went with the fastball. Late swing by Naraki.
Yeah, and this is one of those moments where it's so unfortunate that slider for Lance is not going like he wants to these last couple hitters, because, you know, great 95-mile-an-hour fastball, just misses it. Perfect opportunity to expand away with the slider if he can do it.
On the ground, Franco's going to go to third, and the throw in time, and a nice play by Jack Bell. They're going to challenge this. The throw was to the home plate side of the bag. Bell had to catch it and then reach back to try and make the tag. The umpire over at third base, Casey Mosier, said he was able to get that done. But we see the immediate call for a review here.
Jack Bell's looking pretty confident, so it's making me feel a little bit better. It looked pretty close, Chuck. I'm not sure which way this thing's going to go.
The call on the field is out at third base. The umpires will head back and take a look at it. There's what they're seeing. And from that angle, it's hard to tell whether that hand got in before the tag of Bell landed on the upper arm. Right there is the tag.
I think he got him. I see that white hand. I think you got him, Chuck. I'm the rookie here, but my gut is that he's out.
Now we can see the other hand. We can see the white glove on that hand. So does this hand get in before the tag? There's the tag, and I think the hand has not yet made contact with the base. For a rookie, that's pretty good.
Thanks. I appreciate it. We'll call it calculated optimism.
Okay. And Lucas Franco doing a nice job of realizing he even had this shot. Here come the umpires. It was a pretty quick review. So let's see what case they say. And they're going to say he is out. There you go. You're 1 for 1.
How about that? I will say, if you are this umpiring crew, you got to feel pretty good about that one. On Friday night, 3 challenges, 3 calls overturned. You certainly don't want more of those rolling on today if you can have it.
A runner at first base. 2 outs now as Jason Wax is thrown out over at third. Ty Wood at the plate takes a strike.
You know, this inning has felt lengthy, Chuck, but even just looking at it, that's the 17th pitch of the inning. Still not terribly big. I mean, 15 or under are the types of pitch counts per inning that you want. Lance has a chance to get out of this even with giving up 2 runs where TCU still feels pretty good about things.
Throw over to first and runner able to get back. Rocky a perfect 5 for 5 and stolen bases on the year, so he's a threat to go. Lance had a couple of really quick innings, in fact, including a 5-pitch inning in the third, so he can have a 20-pitch inning and still be right on schedule.
That's exactly right. I mean, you see, Walter Quinn's kind of been up and throwing a little bit for TCU. I don't know if this will be it for Lance if he does find his way through it, but 0-2 here with 2 outs. He's got a chance to end the inning.
Runner goes. That pitch is fouled out of play.
Good job fouling off that 95-mile-an-hour fastball by Ty Wood. Up and in, really tough to get to that one. As a starting pitcher, when you see the hitter get to a baseball like that on an 0-2, I don't know that you necessarily want to go back to it. This is one of those where you're hoping to change the eye level, maybe get that off-speed pitch down. Only way he wouldn't do it is if Lance just feels more confident in that fastball right now.
Runner goes again, swing and a miss. Oh, fouled. I thought he missed it, but Traeger looked over for a new baseball.
In that swing particularly. Now he got that bat path on plane. Again, I really think that if he can, Lance Davis needs to change the height here. Get that eye level back down to the bottom of the plate.
Rocky got taken off again. Another foul out of play off the left side.
Ty Wood doing a really good job of fouling off, spoiling pitches that he doesn't want, looking for the one that he does want.
Still 0-2. Rocky not going. This one's in the air, left field. Long run for Griffin near the line. He makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But Tulane is on the board. They pick up a couple of runs on 1 hit. There's 1 error and 1 man left on base. We played 5.5. TCU on top 4-2. Half of the 6th inning, TCU on top by a couple of runs. There's a new left fielder for the Green Wave. Is Evan Berg now in left field, taking over for Ty Wood. Rob Liddington will lead it off. Takes a strike.
Well, what an opportunity here for J.D. Rodriguez to, now that the lead's been cut down in half, 4-2, has a chance to get his team back in the dugout and see if they can't keep chipping away.
Solo home run last time for Liddington. Hits this one in the air towards right center field. And again, Chung using his speed to run underneath it and make the catch. Been impressed by Tanner Chun. He's really covered a lot of real estate out there in center field.
Yeah, very mobile, very athletic. It's clear, and just getting the baseballs all over the place, making it look easy.
Gets a really good jump off the bat. Jack Bell will be the batter with 1 out and the base is empty here against J.D. Rodriguez, who came on last inning. Bell takes a pitch on the corner for strike 1.
Really good pitch by J.D. Rodriguez. Looking mighty comfortable up there right now.
Goes with the fastball. Missed inside, a ball on the strike on Bell. Jack scored the first run of the game for the Horned Frogs back in the 3rd inning. Led the frame off with a walk, eventually came around to score. In the 4th, he flew out to Tanner Chun.
Good idea by J.D. Rodriguez. You know, one of the things, especially for younger pitchers, that you kind of try to talk to him about is when you're able to throw off-speed pitches and hitters counts, it's just such an easy way to induce weak contact and totally change innings. So I liked what he was trying to do there.
Ball 4 and another walk for Bell.
That's the one thing that you can't do, right, Chuck? You can't give up free bases. So while you're trying to induce weak contact and get your team back in the dugout, the one thing you don't want to do with this TCU lineup especially is give them free bases and give them opportunities to produce more runs.
Colton Griffin will be the batter. Third baseman in on the grass. Throw over to first. Bell's able to get back. Matthias Haas in on the grass over at third. Middle infield looking for a double play ball. Bell was leaning, just able to get back.
It looked like he was really trying to swipe second there. I like it, but he's got to be careful. Good job on J.D. Rodriguez's part. Keep him close.
Rodriguez again goes over to first base. Now Bell's been getting a workout. He was over at first base back in the third inning and saw 5, 6, maybe 7 throws over in his direction. A couple here already. And there's another one.
It's interesting. He's got 2 stolen bases on the year. I mean, it doesn't, you know, he looks like he's capable of running. You know that TCU likes to do that, but only 2 stolen bases. They are picking off quite a bit for Jack Bell.
Yeah, you can understand when Brunson's over there, but you know, Bell's not really that big of a threat to go. Pitch on the corner for a strike.
Really good changeup there by J.D. Rodriguez. Good fade on it.
If you're Colton Griffin, you've been standing there a long time with all these throws over to first base before you saw the first pitch of the at-bat. Another throw in Bell's direction. I talked about Brad Andrews going to have a hard time getting the dirt out of that uniform. He's really starting to grind it in with every throw over there. His front of his uniform is really covered.
Yeah, you might just give him a new one at this point.
That's right. A lot of Lupton Stadium clay embedded in the fibers of that pinstripe uniform over there. Up and out of the strike zone.
Little arm side run.
And you get a good look at the dirt on the uniform, especially the pant leg there. Oh, and look at the front.
That's the thing, Chuck, about white uniforms, white shoes. It's just really hard to keep it that color, isn't it?
Yep. Brad Andrews and his staff do an incredible job of getting not only TCU's uniform clean, but they take care of the visiting team as well. Could be 2 on the ground to second. They go to second for 1 over to first. Griffin grounds into an inning-ending double play. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base for the Horned Frogs through 6. TCU on top 4-2. Bullpen as we start the 7th inning here, and they call on Walter Quinn.
Walter Quinn has been TCU's stopper on the year. You see the .93 ERA and almost 10 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts and just 2 walks. That 8-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, exactly what you want. TCU's bringing Walter in, hoping that he can help close out this first game of the doubleheader today.
He replaces Lance Davis, who has his best outing of the year. He goes 6 innings, allows 3 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 3 strikeouts, no walks, and he ended up throwing 73 pitches while he was in the game.
Yeah, and if you're TCU, that's exactly the kind of start you were hoping you would get from Lance Davis, who's Again, just his 4th career start, 4th weekend consecutively. TCU opens up conference play next weekend. Really want to make sure that starting pitching is ready to go, and I think Lance Davis is going to feel good about this one.
And you mentioned Walter Quinn. He's been the most effective reliever for the Horned Frogs. I asked Kirk Sarlos about him, and Sarlos said, you know what he is? He's like somebody you're from, Trey Tico. Put him in long relief, could have put him, start him if you needed to. If you need him to close, he can close. He can do just about anything.
Trey Tico, fun fact about him, his self-proclaimed nickname was the Hinge. He called himself the Hinge, and the reason why is Riley Farrell was the door that would slam it, and Teak knew what his role was on the team and just played it better than anybody I've ever seen.
First pitch from Quinn is in for a strike to Matthias Haas. Lined, and that's a base hit. Kind of inside outed that one.
Yeah, just outside of the reach of Rob Liddington. Fastball does a good job getting in on the hitter, but man, great swing by Matthias Haas. There's that fastball running in. He gets the barrel to it, inside out it, just like you said, Chuck. And man, you got the leadoff runner on for Tulane and gives them a chance to run that West Coast style offense. We'll see if they dial up a stolen base here or a bunt. See if they can't get that runner in scoring position as quick as they can.
Trent Leolis is at the plate. Pinch runner Jack Johnson now over at first base. First pitch is taken for a ball. Quinn misses down low, ball 2.
Walter Quinn, a notoriously low heartbeat guy. He's even made comments that sometimes he has to remember to give a little fist pump if he finds his ways out of innings. We'll see if that low heart rate helps him here as he's in somewhat of a sticky situation.
Missed upstairs, and a rarity. Walter Quinn to go 3-0 on a batter.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Johnson over at first base does not have a stolen base.
Up T-Law. Up T-Law. Up T-Law.
Quinn comes right back with a strike.
There's that sinking fastball, stays arm side. He's going to want to stay right there, force these Tulane hitters to put a really good swing on that baseball, see if they can't keep it off the ground.
The shift is on for the lefty. Only Jack Bell is on the left side of the TCU infield. Ball 4, he walked him. And the tying runs are on base here for Tulane to start the 7th inning.
Yeah, certainly not an ideal situation. Chuck, we were talking at the break about how it's redundant, but at the same time, baseball can be so simple. And when you give up free bases, they just almost always find a way to cross home plate. And so, you know, if you're TCU, you're really hoping that whether it was that single or that walk, that those runs don't find their way crossing and tie up this ball game.
Hugh Pinckney at the plate. Shows bunt, takes the pitch for a ball.
Yeah, this is an almost certain bunt situation for this kind of an offense. And TCU knows it, and so they're going to call whatever defense they want to call. But we'll see if Pinckney can execute here for the Green Wave.
Shows bunt again, and Quinn misses, and here comes Kirk Sarlos. He is 0 for 2 today. And this is a rarity for Walter Quinn. You've mentioned his numbers to start the inning. I mean, he's been by far and away the most effective reliever for the Horned Frogs, but he's having some problems throwing strikes here today.
That's right. Yeah, Walter Quinn, that guy with the low arm slot. I mean, the baseball moves so much. And I think the key to some of those strikeouts for him, again, that the 8-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, he's got to get ahead in the count so he can throw that sweeping slider and allow guys to kind of chase. But if you're getting behind, all of a sudden, it feels like you have to throw it through a keyhole, and I'm sure that's how he's feeling right now.
2-0 count here on Pinckney. After a leadoff single by Haas. And the walk by Leolius. Bunted. Quinn picks it up. Can't make the play. And the bases are loaded. It was a good bunt. Quinn only had one play. It was over to first base, and he looks up, I think, at the last second here.
Yeah, and that's one of those. Walter takes a handful of steps. Nolan tells him he's got to throw the ball, and he knows how far he's run. That play would have been really close. Just a great bunt by Pinckney. And now bases loaded, nobody out for the Tulane Green Wave. This is exactly what they were hoping would happen.
Nate Johnson takes strike one.
And if there was anybody up that you wanted to be up if you're the Green Wave, it's certainly got to be Nate Johnson. Coming into the game, hitting 1,000 slugging percentage, 583. Again, only just in 12 at-bats, but 7 RBIs.
Good backdoor breaking ball from Walter Quinn. Walter could use a strikeout here to set up a potential inning-ending double play.
If you remember, Johnson got froze on an outside slider last AB.
Jerks this one foul. That pitch coming down and in on him. And he was way out in front of that 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
I think that's where he wants it. You know, staring at that outside slider from Lance Davis that he stared at last at bat, and then putting a really good swing on that inside one. If you're Walter Quinn, you're taking that cue.
Tried to go back outside, but missed. A ball and 2 strikes. Johnson last time to the plate hit a ground ball that looked like it was going to be a sure out to Cole Kramer, but Kramer unable to get the throw over in time, which led to the runs last inning just off the plate.
Trying to get that backdoor breaker.
And it's 2-2.
At this point, if you're Walter Quinn, I think you have to be aggressive and throw that sinking fastball and just trust your defense. Keep it on that outside edge of the plate.
Full count, so he's ahead 0-2. He's missed on 3 straight pitches, and a walk here forces in a run. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the TCU bullpen getting hot in a hurry. In the air, center field. This is deep enough to score the run from third. Strohschneider able to make the catch. He'll throw to third base. It's cut off by Franco, and it's a 1-run ball game. The sacrifice fly and an RBI for Johnson.
And there's that sinking fastball. Johnson does a great job getting underneath it to get that sac fly. Good job on Sawyer Strohschneider to stay behind that fly ball, but just can't stop the runner from getting to third. If you're Tulane, you're feeling real good right now. 1 out, runners on first and third. You're down by 1 run. You're facing TCU's best reliever. And just like that, you've got a chance to turn this ball game around.
It was a good job by Leolas to get to third base with only 1 out and a chance to score on another fly ball here. Kakea Harrison takes a strike.
Good backdoor breaking ball by Walter Quinn. It's not a pitch that Kakea Harrison is looking at until he has to swing at it.
Base hit. That'll tie things up. Harrison delivers. The throw comes back into the infield, and we're all tied at 4.
And just like that, Chuck, just how we were talking about, free bases, find a way to score. There's that slider, and this one just comes right back over the plate. Great job by Kakea Harrison, sitting on that pitch, knowing that something soft is coming and driving it right up the middle to tie the ball game.
13th run batted in for Harrison, and a pitching change coming up for the Horned Frogs as Kirk Sarlos is back out of the TCU dugout. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is after we get back from this timeout.
Polly has been great for the Horned Frogs so far this year. 7 innings, 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Here's another guy that's done a great job of filling up the strike zone. Stuff plays up. He's going to throw it at the top of the zone and try to expand with that really sharp curveball of his. And this is a situation where TCU is hoping that Tanner Saguspi, who's emerged as a leader on this pitching staff, TCU, I'm sure, is hoping that he comes through and fills up that strike zone and gets them out of this inning, give that offense a chance to regain the lead.
He replaces Walter Quinn, who has his least effective outing of the year. He lasts just a third of an inning here, allows 3 hits, 2 runs. Both are, does leave with property on base, did not strike out anyone and walked 1. He ended up throwing 19 pitches in the game. So it'll be a battle of the bullpens for the remainder of this one, all tied at 4. And TCU still not out of this inning yet. Tulane has runners at first and second. Only 1 out. So Gooseby's got some work to do here to get out of the inning with the score tied. And he will face Tanner Chun, who has good speed. Tough man to double up. And he takes the first pitch off the back. It's the second consecutive inning that he's been hit by the pitch. And it reloads the bases for Tulane.
Tanner Chun giving Tanner Saguspi a little bit of a look there. I'm wondering if getting hit twice, he's wondering if that was intentional. There goes that fastball. Yeah, Saguspi just misses with it up and in. That's certainly not a situation where a pitcher is wanting to give a free base to a good runner in a game that's tied up. That pitch just got away from Saguspi. He's going to have to find a way to get back in the zone.
Yeah, there's no way that he was trying to hit him intentionally. Bases loaded now for Tulane. And that pitch missed up for a ball. And both relief pitchers for TCU have been missing. Jason Wax at the big double into the right field corner last inning. Saguspi misses on the breaking ball down, and it's 2-0. So he's thrown 3 pitches, none of them in the strike zone.
And Wax with that big hit earlier in the game. If you're him right now, you're looking for the same type of pitch, something elevated and in that you can drive.
He's been on base 3 times, a single, a double, and he's also been hit by a pitch. And he's way ahead in the count here. 3 balls and no strikes. A walk forces in the go-ahead run for Tulane. 4-pitch walk, and Tulane has the lead for the first time in this game.
Very uncharacteristic for Tanner Saguspi. If you're TCU, that's one of the hardest things is when you don't make a hit or do anything, you just let him keep the bat on his shoulder, and in comes the go-ahead run.
Second RBI of the game, 22nd of the year for Wax. That run charged to Quinn, so he's now given up 3 runs here in this inning and the lead. And again, Saguspi not even close with any of these pitches. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but it's way out of the strike zone.
Yeah, first 5 pitches, 5 balls. Out comes Dave Long to try to calm down a normally sure-handed reliever.
So the TCU pitching staff coming unwound here in the top half of the 7th inning of the game. You know, we said it earlier, TCU felt like they were in control of this game through the first 5 innings, but it was still only 4-0 at that point. And then all of a sudden 4-2, and now here in this inning, 3 runs in, still only 1 out, and the Green Wave have the lead.
Yeah, and this is one of those teaching moments for Jay Ullman in particular. You know that he had to have been encouraging his team, probably similar to Friday night before Lucas Franco hit that grand slam. Hey, we're only a couple runs away. If you guys just keep chipping away, before you know it, this game can turn around. And sure enough, Tulane's got that 5-4 lead deep in this ball game. It's working out in the ways that I'm sure that they were hoping to.
Nolan Naraki at the plate. He's grounded into 1 double play today. And again, Saguspi misses. He's yet to throw a strike. 6 pitches. They've all been out of the strike zone. finally gets the pitch over the plate. Two 2-1 count on the Rocky. Foul back. Well, that fastball, though, that's a dangerous place to be living. Center cut, belt high.
Sure is. I mean, 95, he's got good ride on it, so he gets swings and misses a lot. But at the same time, you know, the hitters are able to sit back right now knowing that they're going to get something really good to hit as Seguspi's just trying to get that ball in the zone. Definitely dangerous to be living there.
Breaking ball in the air. This could score another run. Brunson has to back up to make the catch. He goes to third, and it's a 2-run lead for the Green Wave as Harrison crosses the plate to make it a 6-4 ball game.
Great job on Nolan Araki's part, staying on that breaking ball. I mean, it's got good depth on it. It's off the plate. He sees it immediately and just puts a great swing on it to get to Chase Brunson. Tulane has completely turned this game around. They're up 6-4 on the Frogs.
Ninth man to come to the plate in this inning. For Tulane with runners at first and second, 2 away now. Pitch in the dirt, got away from Traeger, and both runners are going to advance.
Really good job on those Tulane base runners. Seat in the dirt immediately and grab that extra base.
Evan Berg at the plate, his first plate appearance. He came on defensively in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So it's the first time he's getting an opportunity to hit. As you take a look at the runner out at second base, Jason Wax over at third, Tanner Chunt. So good speed on the bases for the Green Wave, and a little offensive conference coming up here with Berg. Berg, only 2 plate appearances on the year. He's 0 for 2, has drawn a walk. Seguspi trying to get the final out of the inning and keep the deficit at 2 for TCU. Breaking ball missed. Ball and a strike on Berg.
If you're Seguspi, you know you want that one. I'm not quite sure where it missed. Maybe just a little bit off the plate. But a good pitch.
There's a strike. A ball and 2 strikes on Berg. That's a big pitch right here from Seguspi. Swing and a miss. He got him to end the inning, but the damage done for Tulane. 4 runs, 3 hits. They leave 2 men stranded. We go to the stretch time in Fort Worth with Tulane on top, 6-4. For the Horned Frogs, this is what they've done offensively today. 4 runs on 6 hits. They've hit a couple of home runs, but both of them solo shots. 4 walks, just 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And for TCU, they really need to get their offense going over the last part of this game, as they now find themselves behind by a couple of runs. J.D. Rodriguez still on the mound. He's worked an inning and 2/3 without allowing a hit to the Horned Frogs. So for TCU, they're going to have to find a way to scratch some runs across here as we start the bottom half of the 7th inning. Get a good look there at Rodriguez and the job that he has done coming into this ball game when TCU was holding the lead. And since he's been in the ball game, he's allowed just 2 base runners, a hit by pitch and a walk to Jack Bell, but then he induced a ground ball double play to end the 6th inning. At the time, TCU held a 2-run lead, but now they find that flipped on its head. And for TCU, they're going to have to figure out a way to get to J.D. Rodriguez down by 2. It'll be the top of the order, Cole Kramer for the Horned Frogs. Kramer will start it off for TCU. Takes the first pitch for ball 1.
And after an inning like that, if you're J.D. Rodriguez, this first hitter is so important to start ahead, stay ahead, try to get that quick out and keep that momentum going for the Green Wave.
There's a strike on the inside corner, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Kramer's got a base hit. That came in the third inning. He singled to right and then scored the second run of the game for the Horned Frogs. He's grounded out his 2 other times to the plate. Slider missed outside.
Good pitch on JD's part. Good job by Cole Kramer leaving it.
Shift is on for Kramer. They've got 3 infielders on the left side. Took that pitch low. For TCU, they're looking for somebody to get on base here in front of Strohschneider and Brunson. Ball 4, and that's exactly what you want from your leadoff hitter.
Yeah, great job by Cole Kramer leaving that one. Very similar pitch to the strike that was called a little bit earlier in the at-bat. Did a good job spitting on it, and now we got a leadoff runner on first base for the Horned Frogs.
And it'll bring up Sawyer Strohschneider, but before Strohschneider gets an opportunity to hit here, the pitching coach is going to come out. Well, check that. It's going to be the head coach, and he's going to make the pitching change right away here. He does not want J.D. Rodriguez to face Sawyer Strohschneider. So new pitcher coming on for the Green Wave. We'll take a timeout, come back and tell you who the new pitcher is right after this.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. So it's his 7th appearance on the year. Larson's got 8 innings, 16 strikeouts, and 3 hits with a 3.24 ERA. You know, if you're Tulane, you are trying to nip this base runner in the butt and see if you can't keep TCU from scoring again and tying up this ball game.
Larson has one of the 2 saves that the Green Wave pitching staff has this year. Tom Vincent has the other one, so Tulane with an opportunity to try and even this series up at a game apiece here, going to one of their better arms out of the bullpen. He replaces J.D. Rodriguez, who pitched well. An inning and 2/3 for Rodriguez. He did not allow a hit or a run to this point. Does leave with property on base, a couple of walks, 24 pitches for J.D. Rodriguez while he was in the game. So Larson takes over, and he'll face Sawyer Strohschneider with a runner at first base, nobody out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Stroh with a long home run his last time up. Takes a fastball at 93 for strike 1.
Great first pitch by Larson. Yeah, this is high moment in the baseball game. Tulane's best reliever against TCU's likely best hitter. We'll see who comes out on top.
Throw over to first base, and Kramer's driven back. Off-speed pitch. Stroh was leaning, took it for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Just a great pitch off that first inside upper fastball. He tunnels it really well, where that ball comes out of his hand to Sawyer Strohschneider, looking like it's going to be the exact same pitch, but just falls off the table.
And a more than 10-mile-an-hour differentiation between the 2 pitches. Strohschneider lines it foul. He went back to the fastball at 93. Stroh was late after seeing that 80-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch.
That's right. Yeah, and he had to respect it. It's exactly as you said, Chuck, because he saw that really good breaking ball. Can't quite get to that fastball up and over the plate because he's having to see it deep.
0-2 on Strohschneider. Another throw over to first base, and again, Kramer able to get back rather easily.
If you're Tulane, you're going to be looking to expand here. Nothing out over the plate, nothing in the strike zone.
Missed outside for a ball. Jack Johnson, who pinch hit last inning, or in the top half of this inning, now over at third base. He's the only infielder on that side of the diamond. Strohschneider takes strike 3, and he knew it as that pitch came back over the outside corner. Good breaking ball from Larson. Strikes out Strohschneider for a big out.
Yeah, a really good pitch. I don't think that he was trying to throw it necessarily away like that, but man, that thing just falls right off the table. Sawyer Strohschneider looked like he was fooled on it, and a big out for the Tulane Green Wave.
That's a pitch you, as a lefty, you give up on because you think it's going to be outside, and then it comes back just enough.
Yeah, it started off both above and outside of the strike zone. It's just not a pitch that you're thinking you're going to need to protect against.
Chase Brunson took the first pitch for a ball. Again, Kramer able to get back on the throw over. Brunson's been up 3 times, and he's been on base 3 times. A couple of walks and a little dribbler to the left side. Takes a fastball inside at 92. That's 2-0 on Chase Brunson. Now if you're Larson, and here comes the pitching coach. If you're Larson, you got to be a little careful because that little breaking ball, if it hangs over the inner part of the plate, could be a tie game.
That's right. I mean, it looks like it might be Larson's best pitch, just with the sharpness and the depth on it, but at the same time against a hitter like Chase Brunson, even your best pitch, if you throw a poor one, especially if it's in a hitter's count, Brunson's probably going to recognize and put a good swing on it. So I bet this is a conversation that Anthony Izio is having with his closer, just saying, hey, you've got great stuff, can't give in to this guy. You don't want to give up a free base, but at the same time, you know, you need to be careful and make sure that you don't give Chase Brunson a cookie.
Brunson's homered a couple of times this year, certainly has the power, and with no wind, can hit it out at any part of the ballpark. 2-0 pitch coming to Chase Brunson here. Again, before he throws it, he checks on Kramer. Cole, a perfect 4 for 4 in stolen bases, but you know, TCU down by 2 now, so the running game gets a little bit more tricky. And Kramer does not have much of a lead at all over at first base, although he's drawing the attention of Sam Larson. Another throw. You can see Kramer's only a few feet off the bag. He's able to get back standing up. Fastball missed inside. 3-0 count now.
Probably have a take all the way here from Chase Brunson.
Short lead by Kramer over at first. Brunson takes ball 4 and draws another walk. Third time he's walked in this ball game. Tying runs are on for TCU. Nolan Traeger will come to the plate. Brunson over at first base.
Big time
Kramer out at
opportunity. Big time opportunity for Nolan Traeger.
Traeger picked up an RBI single into third. 1 for 3, flew out to left, or flew out to center rather, and grounded back to the pitcher, or to first base rather, his last time up. Up now with a chance to pull TCU a little bit closer with a hit. Takes the strike. It's almost like, at least through these first 3 batters, Larson's more comfortable throwing to the lefties.
Yeah, that is what it seems like. Getting ahead on those left-handers, setting up that breaking ball.
Missed down and in. 1-1 count here on Traeger.
And if you're Nolan Traeger, right now, 1-1, you're still looking for an opportunity to get a pitch that you can really drive. You're not trying to swing at anything that you think is going to induce a double play. You don't have to yet.
Another breaking ball. This one's up. And it's 2-1. Another game to follow this one. It'll be a 7-inning contest in game 2. But still a lot of baseball left to be played in this one. Traeger off the end of the bat to center field, and it'll be an easy play for Tanner Chun. The runners have to hold, and there are 2 outs.
There's that fastball, just gets in a little bit on Nolan Traeger, can't quite get to it. Tanner Chun camps out underneath it, keeps Cole Kramer at second base. Runners on first and second, but with 2 outs now for the Frogs, this is arguably their last chance in the inning.
Caius Gargett will be the batter for TCU. Gargett has a single. Hit by a pitch his last time up. Breaking ball, missed down and in, ball 1. One for 2 officially for Gargett today. Batting average at .348. Takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
Good pitch from Larson.
1-1 pitch coming to Caius Gargett. Good breaking ball. Gargett's down in the count, a ball with 2 strikes. Larson missed with a breaking ball. That one looked like it might have slipped a little out of his hand.
Yeah, I think it popped just a little bit. Caius Gargett is going to have to do a really good job of recognizing what pitch is coming and seeing it deep.
Hits this one on the ground to short. Harrison is going to get to the bag ahead of Brunson for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits. 2 men left on base for the Horned Frogs. We're through 7, 6-4 Tulane. You seem to have in control. They were up 4-0, but Tulane's battled back to take a 2-run lead as we start the 8th inning here in Fort Worth. We take a look at the team comparison up to this point.
Yeah, just chipping away. I mean, TCU, obviously they have those 2 home runs and they were feeling pretty good, but Tulane has done a great job taking, there's the big number right there, 6 walks from TCU, just taking advantage of some of those free bases and having timely hitting and getting those runs across when they needed to.
Jack Johnson leading it off. Took the first pitch for a ball, and Zagusby's really struggling to find the strike zone since he entered the game. Only walked 1 last inning, but he's behind everybody that he faced.
Yeah, and the story for the Horned Frogs this season has been mostly the opposite. They've struggled a little bit with the starting pitching, especially since Tommy Lepore went down with an injury. And at this point, their bullpen has been really sure-handed, so this is strange to see, I'm sure, with Kirk Sarlos and Dave Lawn watching their pitching staff struggle to throw some strikes.
Fastball, ball 4, and TCU already down 2, can't afford to fall any further behind, and they walk the leadoff man here. There's Jack Johnson, who got a base hit last inning to start the rally. Draws a walk here to start the 8th. Trent Leolis also walked last inning. Saguspi deals a strike. Now, Tanner's got a big arm. That's 95 miles an hour.
That's the part that's got to be most frustrating is his stuff is very good. But no matter how good your stuff is, if it's not in the zone, it doesn't play.
Breaking ball, strike 2, and that's the best curveball we've seen from him. Shift is on for the lefty. Leolis throw over to first. He almost threw that ball away. Good job by Liddington to go up and get it. Leolis. Again, a throw over, this time much closer play.
And if you're Saguspi after that good curveball, arguably his best pitch, he's got the option to either try to drop that thing on the plate here with an 0-2 count or to go elevated with the fastball above the zone. I'll be curious to see which one he chooses.
Goes with the breaking ball, but it missed way up out of the strike zone.
Yeah, the only potential way that you could use a pitch like that, obviously a big miss, not what he was trying to do, is you still did raise the eye level. It's still, everything is very up. So if you wanted to go down here, it could work.
Throw over to first base. Jack Johnson able to get back. Breaking ball, nice play by Liddington. They're gonna go to second for 1, over to first. Can't get the return throw over in time, but Liddington saves a run with that play over at first base, and somehow they still got the lead out.
Yeah, what a play by Liddington, not only to get his glove on this baseball as it's hard hit, but to stand up, make a great throw to second base, almost in time to still turn the double play. Pretty great job by Rob Liddington.
And that's the thing, that regardless of what Liddington is doing at the plate, really makes him a valuable commodity for TCU, is that ability to really play first base. You know, for the last couple of years, TCU's had people who are playing first base who aren't natural first basemen or first basemen who have, you know, played there the entire time. They've had converted catchers and things along those lines. And you just see how good Liddington is with his glove over there.
That's exactly right, and you got to think that that was part of the reason why Bill Mosiello, John DeLora, and co. wanted to go and grab a true first baseman out of the portal, as they saw that need for a true glove at first base.
Throw over to first, and Leolis able to get back. Well, he's not only done it on baseballs that are hit at him, he's done it. That pitch in the dirt to throw down to second, and they got him. That was a bad jump by Leolis, and a good pick behind the plate by Traeger.
And great throw, right on the money. Obviously he had time, but he puts it right where he needs to for an easy out at second base. See that ball down in the dirt. Great job. Nolan Traeger snags it way in time. 2 outs for TCU.
On the ground, right side, Kramer feels it on the second hop, the short throw, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Tulane leading by 2, 6-4. In this game.
Yeah, statistically it looks pretty similar, Chuck. I think the big thing that stands out to me is, on the one hand, Tulane only 1 strikeout on the day, but I think underlying that statistic is they just continue to fill up the zone and make good pitches. The only times that they actually gave up runs were when they got into a bit of walk trouble. Those are the 3 walks that they've seen on the day. 3 of the 6 walks. At the same time with TCU, man, so much of this game comes down to starting pitching and timely hitting, and I think what you've seen from Tulane is they've just strung together the hits exactly when they need to, rather than those one-off solo home runs that you saw from TCU.
They've taken advantage of their opportunities. Hit batter, a couple of walks, 2 sacrificed flies in that 7th inning, resulting in runs. And that's what you have to do if you're going to win ball games. Lucas Franco at the plate takes a strike. Franco, Liddington, and Bell for TCU. Franco 0 for 3. Pulls it on the ground right to first, and Leolius is there to scoop it up and step on the bag, 1 away. Rob Liddington in the 4th inning, leaving the yard.
There's that elevated breaking ball, just such a good job recognizing it, depositing it. Looks like behind the scoreboard. That's a pretty impressive swing from Rob Liddington. I will say it would not be a horrible thing if you're a TCU fan to watch another elevated breaking ball find its way over the left field fence for Liddington.
At the time, it gave TCU a 3-0 lead. They increased it to 4-0 before the Green Wave have scored 6 unanswered runs to take the lead.
What a response. I mean, that's winning baseball. Sometimes that's what you have to do. And to think that Tulane has done that without really having a ton of extra base hits.
That pitch is taken for a ball. Just 2 extra base hits for Tulane on the day. A triple in the 1st inning from Chun, and then a little bit later on in the game, Wax had a double. And Lance Davis, who started, went 6 and really was in command of the game until he came out of the contest. And, you know, at that point, the Frogs went to Walter Quinn, who'd been lights out. You think, well, this game's well in hand here, and all of a sudden, again, we talked about the free passes, things that Quinn has not done before. This one's up the shoot, infield fly. Calling for it is Nate Johnson, and he makes the catch of 2 outs.
That's one of the things, Chuck, about baseball that can be so tough. Here's Liddington with the, there's the fastball. He just gets right underneath it, trying to backspin it. Great job on Larson's part. He's got that steep angle, gets the pop-up. You know, in baseball, 9 innings to play, 3 games in a series. There's just so much that you have to do right to win baseball games. It's unlike other sports where games can be effectively over before they actually are. And I think TCU has kind of felt that today. You know, you were in control of the game, and then you have some of your best relievers come in, and they just don't pitch well. And right now, it's looking like Tulane may take this 2nd game of the series.
Bell takes the strike. That'll even things up at 1-1. Jack has a couple of walks today and has scored a run. Only retired in the 4th inning when he flew out to left field. Lays off that pitch out over the plate. 2 balls and a strike on Bell. Now, if you're TCU, you'd like to obviously get both runs here in the 8th inning, but if you can just get one, it gives you give yourself a much better chance in your last at bat.
That's right. And even if Jack Bell here can find a way on base, you know, the other thing that TCU assures for itself is that in the bottom of the 9th inning, even if Colton Griffin couldn't find a way on, you're at the top of the order, get a restart there. Important at bat for Jack Bell.
Chopped foul. We count now 4-3-2 on Jack Bell. Another 1-run ball game. You know, you just need to find a way to scratch a run across one swing of the bat and tie it up. But you know, down multiple runs, somebody's got to get on base.
That's right.
Bell fouls it out of play off the left side. To keep the at-bat alive, it'll remain full.
Larson's doing a really good job just boring in that fastball, 92, 93, throwing it with that angle. That one looked like it got in pretty good on Jack Bell, opening up that plate. I think on full count, he's probably going to go back to it based on those swings, but he's got options.
Good swing by Bell. He went back to the fastball, and Jack right on it, just fouled it straight back.
Yeah, and you see the difference on that one. Like, it just, a couple baseballs away rather than that fastball being in. That one leaks away, and Jack is obviously able to get the barrel to it. That's not the one that Larson wants to throw at this point.
Let's see if he goes back to the breaking ball here or sticks with the fastball. Breaking ball, strike 3 call. Bell thought it was outside. He cannot believe it as he's rung up by Tim Cordell for the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Horned Frogs in the 8th. We go to the 9th inning, 6-4 Tulane. Underneath the shade, and boy, Kirk Sarlos is out on the field. He is really, really upset with home plate umpire Tim Cardle, and I can tell you why. Here it is right here. This is the pitch to Jack Bell. It's not even close to being strike 3. Jack Bell was upset, and Kirk Sarlos, in between innings, rocketing out of the dugout. Of course, it was too late to do anything about the call, but he was really upset with that call. And you saw in the replay, it was not close to being strike 3.
It wasn't. Even if you're a former pitcher and you want to call, that ball is multiple balls off the plate. And if you're Kirk Sarlos, I think it's not only the fact that was a key situation and you had a clear walk, but Tim Cordell was also first base umpire in that first game who missed those 3 calls. And so maybe easy for that TCU dugout to take it a little bit more personally.
Tanner Seguspie back to work. He'll face 9-1-2, and he starts Nate Johnson off with a strike. Well, that's a big turning point. I mean, a walk there brings up the tying run, number 1, and also does what you said, potentially flips the lineup over for the 9th inning. And then there is the fact that Tim Cordell made 3 calls against TCU on Friday night. They were all reversed.
All of them.
Seguspie misses up high. 2-1 count here on Nate Johnson.
Best way, obviously, that the Frogs can respond is by getting back in the zone, having a quick inning, and giving that offense a chance, just kind of that so what mentality.
Fouled out of play. Johnson reached on an error in the 6th, scored the first run of the game, had a sacrifice fly, drove in a run in that 4-run 7th, struck out all the way back in the 3rd. And he goes down swinging here. Traeger will pick it up and throw down the first base to complete the strikeout, 1 out.
Yeah, there's that plus breaking ball from Tanner Seguspie that he was kind of missing when he first came in there. It just, when he gets on top of that baseball, it's got such crazy depth and sharpness to it. You see it right there, and lands right on top of the plate, right in the middle, just exactly how you want to do it. That's textbook baseball right there.
Top of the order. Kikaya Harrison takes ball 1. 1 for 4 for Harrison today. Had an RBI base hit in the 6th inning. 7th inning, rather. And eventually came around to score the 6th run of the game. 2-0 count on Harrison. Foul behind home plate. That one will make it to the roof.
Harrison just missed that one.
2-1 count here. For Seguspie, your job, get your team back in the dugout and keep the deficit right where it is. Strike called, and it's 2-2.
Top of the zone there with that breaking ball. Probably not quite where Seguspie wants to throw it, but the right pitch from the standpoint of Harrison's not looking to hit that one. Probably gave up on it.
Pull foul. That's past the first base dugout.
Yeah, when you see a swing like that, Chuck, on a breaking ball that was down at the same time you got the bat head to it, it's not quite what you want in terms of being able to throw a fastball here inside. I know that Seguspi's got multiple pitches, even though he's a reliever. You might see the occasional changeup here. See if you can't get him sped up.
That one off the Seguspi's body, and it's going to result in a hit.
Yeah, so
Franco tried to make the play on it after it came off the mound.
that right there was kind of the fear. So he throws the fastball. Harrison's on it. He almost stops it with his body. And Franco does everything that he can to get Harrison out, but a good runner on Harrison's part. Great piece of hitting.
A runner at first base. Here comes Dave Lawn to talk to Seguspi.
If you're TCU, you're absolutely hoping. Sure enough, out comes Cade Durnan.
A new pitcher coming on for the Horned Frogs. We'll give you the numbers when we get back from this timeout.
Yeah, Cade Durnan, second season with the Frogs. Last year sat out all year recovering from Tommy John. He's got 5 innings on the year, 8 hits, 5 Ks, but he has pitched better than what that stat line shows. Kirk Sarlos and crew have a lot of confidence in this guy. He's coming in, obviously just trying to slam the door, see if TCU can't get that offense back in the lineup on the field.
He replaces Tanner Seguspi, who goes 2 innings today, allows 1 hit, no runs, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, hit a batter, threw a wild pitch, and also threw 37 total pitches while he was in the game. And for Durnan here, the job is easy. You've got to keep the deficit right where it is. You can not afford to allow another run to cross the plate here and make the mountain that much higher for your offense.
Agreed, and I think the way that this game has gone with how Tulane scored the bases, the word that comes to mind is aggressive. The temptation, especially as a young pitcher, is to come into this situation and feel like you need to kind of nibble. And I think that the way that this Tulane offense works, Cade Durnan needs to come in here for the Frogs and be very aggressive and challenge these hitters.
Tanner Chunt at the plate, throw over to first base, and Harrison chased back with the throw. He's a perfect 4 for 4 in stolen bases with a 2-run lead. And the fact that we just talked about, that run is huge for Tulane. I would not be surprised to see Harrison take off early in the count here. And there he goes on the first pitch. It's fouled out of play. Tulane realizes how big that run is. They start Kikayo Harrison right away.
Well, and if anything, just trying to take away that force, right, Chuck?
Yep. Potential double play to end the inning. Throw over. Harrison's able to get back. Then you may be saying, well, what's the difference, 2 or 3? Well, you know, a walk, a hit batter, some little squibbler gets a runner on base, then you're facing a tying run. Down 3, you've got to get 2 guys on base, and it's a much bigger ask. to string 3, 4, 5 hits together in one inning.
That's right. Yeah, those crooked numbers in baseball are a lot more difficult to come across than a 1 or a 2.
Check swing. He did not go around, according to Chris Griffin, over at first base.
Good curveball on Cade Durnan's part. Real close and almost got the offer. Those are the types of competitive pitches he's going to need to continue to make to get his team back in the dugout.
Chun's been on base 3 times, hit twice in his last 2 plate appearances. Again, a throw to first. And he had a triple down the right field line his first time up. 1 for 2 rather, officially, with the 2 hit by pitches. Runner starts and then stops, and there's a strike.
Yeah, and Chun's going to be a guy with his speed. It's going to be really tough to turn 2 on him. So you not only want to keep that runner honest at first base, Harrison, with his speed, but honestly, if you're Cade Durnan, you're less focused on trying to get a ground ball and more focused on just trying to get the hitter out.
Foul back. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Good pitch by Cade Durnan. If you're a pitcher, you're always looking for feedback, always looking for what those hitters are doing, kind of hinting at what they're seeing, what they're not seeing. Based on that swing, fastball up and away that he is right on. If I'm Cade Durnan here, I'm considering expanding with a breaking ball at the bottom of the zone, see if he won't swing over top of it.
Throw over to first base, and Harrison able to scramble back. On the ground, foul outside of third.
Good idea on Cade Durnan's part, but that breaking ball, you see how it kind of backs up a little bit, comes in more into Chun's bat path. I think if that curveball is away, you get at the very least a weak ground ball to Jack Bell, if not a complete swing and miss.
The delay while they scoop the ball off the warning track in fair territory. Another 1-2 coming here to Chun. Chop towards third, going to be a tough play. Short hop nicely by Bell, and the throw to first is in time. Nicely done by Jack Bell.
Wow, wow, what a play by Jack Bell. Level of difficulty, borderline level 10. You got the fastest runner in Tulane's lineup. You got a short hop that you can't quite get to, have to make a throw on the run. Just excellent on Jack Bell's part for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that would score high with the degree of difficulty. And he had only 1 shot. He had to pick it on that short hop, and he had to make a clean exchange and a perfect throw. Anything other than that, and Chun is safe. The runner does go to second base, so now Durnan really has to bear down here to try to get Jason Wax and keep this game right where it is. And Wax has been on base 4 times today.
Yeah, arguably the hottest hitter right now in Tulane's lineup. Job certainly not done for the Frogs.
Chopped foul off a home plate. 1-1 count. He's got a double and a single, 2 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch, drawn a walk. He's driven in 3 of the 6 runs that Tulane has on the board.
Yeah, and he's shown balance. So there was he hooked a ball down the line. He drove a ball. I think that was the double. He drove a ball through the 6 hole. Wax has done a really good job being willing to go either way, and then as well with the walk and the hit by pitch. You have a really patient hitter.
A little pitch com problem here for Cade Durnan as he's struggling to hear. Looks like he's got the problem worked out. One pitch from Durnan before it comes to throw out the second. Harrison back easily as Franco snuck in. Got away from Traeger, but good job to keep it where he can see the runner.
Good velocity on that fastball from Cade Durnan, 95, just obviously lower than what he wants it to be, but you can see what he's trying to do.
Two 2-1 pitch into dirt, goes all the way back to the backstop this time, and Harrison will jog over to third base on the wild pitch. That's the second wild pitch thrown by the Horned Frogs in this ball game.
Yeah, not an ideal situation for the Horned Frogs. At the same time, with Kikia Harrison's speed, if there's a base hit by Jason Wax, he's probably going to score either way. So if you're a pitcher and you're trying to maintain your composure, you're thinking to yourself, nobody hurt, just make a quality pitch and get out of the inning.
3-1, breaking ball, ball 4, and Wax draws the walk. Runners at first and third. 2 outs, and it will bring up the right-handed hitting Nolan Noraki. Not necessarily a bad thing, but you had the lefty up there. You were down 3-1 in the count. Rather than give in and throw a pitch to a hot hitter, put him over at first base and deal with the righty Noraki, who's 0 for 3 today.
That's right. Yeah, a much better matchup, I think, on paper. And the key for Cade Durnan is to be aggressive here. Challenge these hitters, get in that zone.
Now, the thing you can't do is throw another wild pitch.
No. Nope.
2-0 count here on Noraki, as Durnan is struggling to find the strike zone. Able to find it there with a fastball.
Great 2-0 pitch, not one that Naraki's looking to drive at that bottom corner of the strike zone.
Two 2-1, breaking ball missed, 3-1. And Naraki's probably going to get a pretty good pitch to hit here. Line towards the left field line. That's going to get past Griffin and into the corner. 1 run scores. They're going to try and score the runner all the way from first. Here's the throw, and he's safe as the ball gets away from Traeger. And it's now an 8-4 ball game in favor of Tulane.
Yeah, it looks like a breaking ball that just hung in there. Not a bad idea from Cade Durnan, but just hitter did a really good job seeing it up, drove it obviously to left field, and on the relay it looked like the Horned Frogs were going to have the runner, but Nolan Traeger can't come up with that ball, and it's an 8-4 lead now for the Tulane Green Wave.
We talked about 1 run being a difficult task. Now you're down 4. Still not out of the inning. There's a runner out at second base. And that is 8 unanswered runs by Tulane against this TCU bullpen.
Yeah, if you're Jay Ullman, you have to be really proud of your squad right now. I mean, you had multiple opportunities on Friday, and it just doesn't quite work out. The Frogs have that timely hit in the 7th inning. And then in this game, it looks like it has the potential to get away, but they stick close, find a way to keep that lead small. And at this point, timely hitting has belonged to the Tulane Green Wave.
They are 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position today. TCU just 1 for 5. Breaking ball, cut on him, missed. Evan Berg came into the game defensively back in the 7th, struck out his only time to the plate. 2-2 count. This is a game if TCU doesn't find a way to come back in, They're going to look back at the bullpen, and two pitchers who had been reliable really struggling in their appearance today. Quinn and Sigusby. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Berg, but the damage done. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 man left on base. We go to the 9th. TCU down by 4. Take a look at the game summary heading into the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about starting pitching and timely hitting tends to be what wins baseball games. And on the one hand, timely hitting certainly seems to be what's winning for the Tulane Green Wave, but the bullpen, I think, has been what stands out in this graphic. That's been the difference. Frankel doesn't quite have the start that he wants. Lance Davis puts down a great start for the Horned Frogs, easily his best on the season. But the bullpen for the Green Wave has outperformed that of the Frogs, and that's ultimately the difference between the 8-4 ball game going into the 9th.
And for TCU now, they have a tall mountain to climb, down by 4, but it all starts with getting guys on base. It'll be 9-1-2 for TCU. First pitch in there for a strike. Griffin 0 for 3 today. Ball and a strike, as that one goes all the way back to the backstop.
Obviously a really important at bat here for the Horned Frogs. Down 4 runs, you really want to get that leadoff hitter on base, and vice versa for the Green Wave, you really want to get that first out.
Griffin starts it off with a single to right. That's exactly what you need if you're the Horned Frogs. It's got to start somewhere, and Griffin delivers a single to start the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, pretty sure it's a fastball up. Yeah, up over the plate. Griffin does a great job getting that bat head to it, just outside the reach of that first baseman, similar to a play that happened to the Horned Frogs earlier in the game. We'll see if TCU can build on this early momentum.
Top of the order for TCU. Griffin over at first base, down by 4. He's just going to, Frogs forced to play station-to-station baseball here. Fastball taken for a strike, and Kramer can't believe it. He thought that pitch was up and in. 1 for 3 for Kramer, who's also picked up a walk today. That one missed inside, a ball and a strike.
Yeah, I think the TCU fans aren't too happy with the strike zone that they've seen today.
Tim Cordell on the wrong side of the Horned Frog fans. This ball well hit to straightaway center field, but plenty of room for Chun, who makes the catch shy of the warning track.
Yeah.
1 out.
Great swing by Cole Kramer. If there's a guy you want coming up to the plate, it's Sawyer Strohsnyder. Earlier in the game, you see the fastball that leaks in and puts a great swing on it. TCU is obviously hoping that their best hitter can put another good swing on a baseball again in this inning.
For Stroh, it was his 4th home run of the year. And time is called. Pitching coach coming out. Anthony Izio making the walk to the mound.
To your point earlier, Chuck, it is station-to-station baseball. So if you're Sawyer Strohsnyder, you can't hit the 4-run home run when there's only 1 runner on first base. Sometimes if you clear the bases, it makes it easier on the pitcher because they get to go back to not having to worry about runners on. So ideally, you want to be patient and make sure that you don't swing at a pitch that you can't do much with unless you absolutely have to and it's 0-2 or 1-2. And at the same time, if you can, you're trying to get one of those hits where the bases are just jammed up and the pitcher's having to worry about a bunch of different things as he's trying to make pitches to home plate.
Anthony Izio heads back into the dugout after having a word with Sam Larson. Yeah, you see it a lot of times, a home run that will clear the bases, kind of resets everything, and all of a sudden the pitcher is able to bear back down. The difficulty becomes when there's traffic on the base paths.
That's right, and that's that difference that you were saying between the 2 runs and the 3 or the 4 runs is, in this moment, if TCU were down by 2, then obviously you're excited about Sawyer being up, and hopefully he does damage, but it's a different ballgame right now.
Swing and a miss in the dirt. Strohschneider went after a breaking ball, and that will even the count at 1-1.
There's that great breaking ball by Larson, very similar to Seguspie. Vertical shape to it, about 80 miles an hour, and when he gets it in the bottom part of the zone, it's so sharp and hard to leave. And you see that swing right over top of it by Sawyer Strohschneider.
Bouncer to first. They go to second for 1. The throw to first not in time. But right now, they are more than happy to exchange a base for an out.
Yeah, Sawyer Strohschneider gets a heater here, rolls over on it to first base, does a great job breaking up the double play. You see Jack Larson really try to get that second out at first base. It seems like he's okay. The flexibility is impressive, Chuck.
Yeah, to say the least. Sam Larson, I would be still on the ground if that were me over there.
To
that
continue
right now.
that earlier theme of pitchers are athletes too, Chuck. It seems like can do it all.
Well, TCU down in their final out. They need 2 more to get on base to bring the tying run to the plate. That's how big those extra 2 runs in the top half of this inning are. Otherwise, Brunson be standing up there with a chance to tie it up with 1 swing of the bat.
That's right.
Brunson takes inside, a ball and a strike.
And if you're Sam Larson, you know that you have all the leverage right now. It's 1-1. There's 2 outs. Runner on first. A 4-run home run is impossible at this point when you got only 1 runner on. And so you're thinking you just want to challenge these hitters. The odds are in your favor.
Tulane trying to even the series up at a game apiece. The Green Wave fell behind 4-0 in this ball game through the first 5 innings, but it's been 8 unanswered runs for Tulane, and they have opened up a sizable advantage with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And for Brunson, all you can do here is look to get on base somehow, some way, and pass the baton to Nolan Traeger in the on-deck circle.
That's right.
Ball 4, and game keeps going on for TCU.
Yeah, you wonder if Larson, even with all the adrenaline of potentially closing out a game, you wonder if he's getting a little tired. Almost to 50 pitches. He's got 6 appearances in 8 innings. Probably not used to pitching this much.
They're going to make a pitching change. Plus, he did the splits just a moment ago. So, new pitcher coming on for Tulane. We'll tell you who it is after we get back from this timeout. On a lefty to face the left-handed hitting Nolan Traeger, it's Tom Vincent.
Yeah, and Vincent's the only other player on Tulane's staff who has a save on the season. Got to wonder if it's the backup closer. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 Ks, 2 walks. You see that 10.8 ERA, but with such a small sample size, it's possible that that number's a little inflated, maybe from an outing.
He replaces Larson, who goes 2 2/3 this afternoon, allows 1 hit, no runs, does leave a property on base. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 47 pitches for Sam Larson. As he does his job here this afternoon. Between Larson and the offense for Tulane, who scratched across 8 unanswered runs. They have got the Horned Frogs behind the 8 ball here.
And you've got to imagine, I mean, this is just going to be the definition of trying to get Nolan Traeger to try to do too much. He's going to challenge him, fill it up, try to expand that strike zone from the left side. It's going to be a really tough at bat from Nolan Traeger and the Horned Frogs.
Well, Nolan Traeger will come to the plate here. Frogs need one more to get on base to bring up the tying run, and Traeger takes a strike. And again, the crowd not happy with the strike zone from Tim Cordell. Traeger 1 for 4, an RBI single. That came all the way back in the 3rd inning when TCU was in control of the ball game. A ball and a strike.
So important for these TCU players to maintain their composure. Even if there's calls being made that they don't like, you got to go pitch to pitch and just be ready for the next opportunity.
TCU down at a final strike as Traeger takes a fastball at 92 over the outside corner.
Great pitch on Vincent's part. 2 very pitcher's pitches. Really tough for Traeger to get to those. He's exactly where he wants to be right now.
Here's the 1-2 to Traeger. Bouncer back to the mound. This will do it as Vincent runs over to first base, and the ball game is over. In the 9th for the Horned Frogs, no runs, 1 hit. They leave a couple of men stranded. TCU drops this one. In the first game of the doubleheader, we'll have game number 2. It'll be the rubber game of this 3-game series between TCU and Tulane coming up in about 45 minutes. Final totals here in this one. For Tulane, 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. For TCU, 4 runs on 7 hits, an error. They left 9 men stranded. And this is really a tale of 2 ball games. TCU winning the first half. Tulane winning the second half with 8 unanswered runs. For Mitchell Traver, this is Chuck Lomadola saying so long from Lupton Stadium with the final scores. Tulane 8, TCU 4. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streamed live and archived on the ESPN app. It's been a presentation of ESPN.